It's time for Intelligent Machines. Jeff and Paris are here. Great interview to kick things off. Vlad Prelovac is here, founder of Kagi, the best search site ever. It beats Google all hollow. We'll also talk about the controversy over Perplexity versus Cloudflare, AI flight pricing, and why it may cost you a lot more next time you fly, plus an amazing new video generator from Google. That and a whole lot more coming up next on Intelligent Machines.
Podcasts you love.
From people you trust.
This is Twit.
This is Intelligent Machines, episode 831, recorded Wednesday, August 6th, 2025. 9 seconds of Google. It's time for Intelligent Machines, the show where we talk about the latest in AI, robotics, and the smart doodads and doohickeys surrounding you. Careful, there's one over there. This is always a pleasure to do this show because I get together with two of my favorite people. Paris Martineau is here, investigative reporter.
Oh my gosh, there was an intelligent machine right underneath me, and I didn't realize.
It's everywhere. They're everywhere. She is a investigative journalist at, I'm happy to say, Consumer Reports. Paris.nyc is her website. Hello, Paris. Is that a new painting over the fireplace? Over the mantel?
It's not, but my office situation is kind of in flux right now, so the camera is probably pointing.
We're going to need an update later.
It looks
We're
good.
We're going to, whenever the new desk gets here, I'll send you guys.
Oh, what, did we shame you last week with your little red desk?
Well, no. I love my little red desk. I want to continue using it, but you are correct. It needs to be larger, and the time is finally now. I've made some bold offers on an Eames desk on Facebook. That'll hopefully pay off.
Well, next time you're visiting Petaluma, the new Eames Museum will be opening here in a few years. So if you're an Eames fan,
I am.
This is the place to be. Also with us, Jeff Jarvis, Emeritus Professor of Journalistic Innovation at the Craig Newmark Graduate School at the City University of New York, author of the Gutenberg Parenthesis magazine, now in audiobooks, and of course the web we weave.
I'm going to lunch with Craig tomorrow, and I would have loved to have gone to Salt Hanks, but I don't think there's any chance we'll get in.
He's just too popular, folks.
He really is. New York Times gave him a rave on Friday, which didn't help the lines.
An amazing rave.
I want to rave about my search engine.
As you do often. You are on record
really do.
Often. Yes.
I remember in the late 90s, and maybe even earlier than that, I used to work with computer columnist John C. Dvorak, who used to have a litmus test for geeks. He'd say, what internet browser to use? I mean, search engine to use. And if they said Excite, if they said Yahoo, he would go, nah. He'd say, it's Google. And I think when everybody has that experience when they first use Google of like, this is a revelation. This is how search should be. But in the intervening years, sad to say, enshittification has taken over Google's search results, the latest being their AI summaries, which are often wrong, often misleading, and something most people just don't want. I've gone on a search, you've heard me talk about it, for a better search engine for a long time. I've tried them all, DuckDuckGo, Acosta, and I even paid for Neva back in the day until Neva threw in the towel saying you can't compete against Google in search. Then I found something called Kagi, Kagi. Kagi had a crazy proposition. You want good search? You want no ads? You want reliable results? Pay for it. Pay for it? What? So I've been paying for Kagi Search for a couple of years now, and I must say, it's worth every penny. Joining us right now, the man who started Kagi with his own money, Vlad Prelovac, who is the CEO and founder of Kagi. Vlad, it's such a pleasure to meet you and have you on the show. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Honored to be here.
You self-funded. You put $3 million in at the beginning to bootstrap it.
Yeah, it turns out that every VC in Silicon Valley thought it was a crazy idea, and
nobody would give you money. In other words,
yeah, I did what one's supposed to do when they live in Silicon Valley. When you have a crazy, outlandish idea, you go to VCs and see if somebody would fund it. It turns out that they really thought it was crazy, and so I ended up putting basically all of my money into the project because I so desperately needed something that I can rely on for my search and also that my kids can use without being surveilled and profiled all the time. So this is how Kagi was born.
In 2018, no less, which
Yeah.
I can kind of understand the VC saying, what are you talking? No one's going to ever beat Google. Partly because Google gives a lot of money to companies like Apple, Samsung, Mozilla to make sure that they're the default search. In fact, good luck trying to change your search on your iPhone to Kagi. It's not an entry.
Yeah, pretty much so. The main difference is that I never had a plan to kill Google or dominate the world. The plan was always only to create a search engine that you can trust, that will have your best interest in mind, and that can align incentives through a paid business model, meaning people pay for the search results. If they're not good enough, they walk away with their wallet. So that creates this positive feedback loop that created a lot of innovation, I would say, in Kagi as a product, in search experience, and just is a wonderful thing to use, knowing that a tool that you need and rely on so much through the day is designed with your best interest in mind, and that's some random advertisers.
You're a public benefit company, a corporation, as of last year. So that means that it's not a nonprofit, but it means that you have to, there are some rules regarding how much money you can make. Does it also mean you can't sell out?
No, it means that we are not only beholden to our shareholders, but also to our public benefit statement. So, normally corporations in US are, at will of the shareholders and optimize for shareholder value. A public benefit corporation also can take into account their public benefit mission. So that makes a great deal of difference in terms of how we think strategically, how we make decisions, how we, create initiatives.
The public benefit statement is, quote, Kagi is committed to creating a more human-centric and sustainable web that benefits individuals, communities, and society as a whole with a transparent business model that aligns the incentives of everyone involved. So now you're kind of bound to live up to that.
Yes, which was the goal from day one. So I only learned about PBC concept last year. So this is when we decided to transform to a PBC. But it is basically a structure that allows the companies like ours to really emphasize their mission.
Are you profitable?
As of this time, we are break-even profitable. So
is that enough for you? Is that sufficient? Are you happy with that?
Sure, I'm beyond happy. So we have a decent search engine. We are, providing stability for 50 or so employees, and we have the world's best search engine. So that's a lot to be happy about.
One of your most recent employees is a good friend of the network. Mike Elgin's son, Kevin Elgin, has joined you on the team. Now, Kagi's not free. I mentioned that. There is a free tier, which gives you 100 searches. I think I started with the $5 a month, 300 searches a month. And then I just skipped right to the $25 a month. Not so much because I needed the number of searches, because you can get unlimited searches for $10 a month, but because I really wanted to support you. I really believed in what you were doing. And I thought, if anything is going to succeed against Google, it's going to succeed because we, its users, want it to and support it that way.
Tell more about the assistant that you get at that level.
Yeah, so that's actually a little bit controversial. I'm going to mention real quickly because it's the timing couldn't be better. If you go to Ars Technica, the front page right now has Lee Hutchinson's article. Enough is enough. I dumped Google's worsening search for Kagi. I like how the search engine is the product instead of me. And if you haven't, even if you use Kagi, you should probably read it. I actually learned about some amazing things Kagi does. That's very, very cool. You can really control your search. You don't need to, but you can totally control the search results. But a little controversial because one of the things people are moving to Kagi for is the fact that this Google AI summary that they're foisting on us, a lot of people dislike. In fact, Lee refers to that. He says, I'm getting incorrect information from Google at this point in this search summary, and I don't like that. So I think a lot of people say, I'd like to go somewhere without AI. What is your plan with AI? What are you doing with the AI?
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question. First of all, AI has been part of search for decades. And we are talking here about generative AI, the latest breed, the LLMs, which have been controversial, mostly because of their tendency to hallucinate. So using them in information consumption scenarios is not, really optimal all the time. And from day one, when LLMs became a thing in late 2022, we had this thing called the AI integration philosophy. It basically said we're going to treat AI as a tool, and it's going to be on demand only. So we're not going to push it down user throats. And if people want to use it, they certainly can. And that means that when you use Kagi, the search engine, it's going to work with like any other search engine. Well, I guess not anymore, but you're going to get search results. But then we built some clever little things, like if you add a question mark to the end of your query, you can get an AI summary of the results, which is
I didn't know
very
that.
useful.
That's cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, you just get a very quick summary.
You don't get it unless you put the question mark in there.
You have to put a question mark in, and then you get this little AI summary.
Yeah.
So it's pretty useful. I use it sort of 50% of the time. It's always providing references and sources and citations. And, there are also some people who want to use these LLMs and just talk directly to them. So we build a product around that called Kagi Assistant, which basically gives you access to all the top LLMs in the world, grounded in Kagi search. So you get benefit of both, accessing all the models out there and the accuracy of Kagi search results. And you can do a lot of cool things with it. My favorite one is I created a custom assistant called Athletic Coach. So, whenever I run, do my cycling, whatever, I dump the screenshots from Strava into it, and, I ask it to scrutinize my session, things like that. So there's definitely...
Look at all the models you can choose from, by the way, including Google's own models. I mean, this is a great way to access all of these incredible models. QN is in there, DeepSeek, Grok, of course. And it looks like you keep up with the latest.
Yeah, I pretty much do update this almost daily. And you get this even on the $10 plan, but on a $25 plan, you get the high-end models. We are approaching AI, I like to think, very mindfully, like not really rushing into it and trying to be very thoughtful about how we use it, how we integrate it in product, how to add value. For example, in Kagi search, I don't know if you knew any search results that you see. You can, for example, translate them. You can summarize them. You can ask questions about that page. So that's all sort of one click away, but still on demand. So,
by the way, you can also exclude AI-generated images from the image search. So you can have it both ways. If you don't want to see AI images, you can. I have that still turned on, but I mean, I like seeing all the images. Yeah, this is the most customizable search engine you've ever seen, with these lenses, the personalized results. I mean, there's nothing you can't do in this search engine. It's pretty amazing.
I think what we are showing here is what a search engine looks like when you optimize for the user.
Yeah.
And Kagi is all about user agency. So putting user in control, not trying to figure out for them what they want to see, but actually giving user the tools to personalize their search feed, to find the results they want, and things like that. And this is what people pay $10 a month for.
It is an issue, I think, for a lot of people. You can't just choose Kagi on the iPhone, but you do have instructions in your Kagi documents of how to make that happen, because it is possible to make that happen. You also offer your own browser, the Orion browser, which is a WebKit-based browser for Mac, iPhone, and iPad. And that, of course, can use and does use Kagi as its default search. So if people want to switch to Kagi, there are ways to do it. It's just there's a few extra steps. This is where Google's, the power of the default has made Google so dominant. I think it's interesting that people are starting to turn away, though, even though it takes extra steps. Where do you get your search results? That's the other thing people want to know. Is this just Bing recast?
Yeah, could you talk a little bit about your web index and your news index?
Sure. So we are a small company, bootstrapped and all that. So I realized from day one, you cannot, we will not be able to index the entire web and things like that. It's going to be billions of dollars. So we are getting search results from every other search engine that we can pay the results for. And then we also build our own index, which focuses on non-commercial content, which is the content I enjoy the most reading, and B, something that's missing in other search engines. And by this, I mostly mean personal blogs and forums and things like that. So sort of unmonetized human writing, so to speak. So, and then we mash all that together. We apply our algorithms. We do some nice things like, for example, we measure how many ads and trackers are there on any page. And if there are too many, we downrank those kind of results because they usually correspond to low quality content. I mean, little signals like that other search engines cannot do because they're, ad based and would be admitting that their model doesn't work. But we can, and this helps tremendously propel high quality, pages up, and downrank those bad pages, with lots of ads, trackers, affiliate links. You'll seen them. So yeah, we do our own, stuff on top of search results, but then most importantly, we give users the tools. So you can block a website in Kagi results if you don't like it. Lots of people do that for political content. For example, you don't like this website or this news source, say block it in my search results. I don't want to ever see it again. And similarly, you can promote sites you like. And we actually have a public list of sites that Kagi users block and promote the most. So you can quickly...
like the old blog roll.
Yeah, basically, if you go to kagi.com/stats, there's something called domain insights. And, that this gives you idea of what Kagi users at least are, thinking are good or bad websites on the web.
Vlad, I confessed to you before we got on that I'm late to Kagi. I'm already loving it in no time at all. I'm curious about your views of the web as a whole. People are complaining about Google being worse, and there's two theories about that Google's doing things wrong, but also the web is worse, not just because of AI, because of all kinds of things. How do you view the state of the web itself? And you've already mentioned a few ways in which you try to clean some of the junk out, but where do you see the trend going? How do you fight? I can't help but say it, the enshittification that's out there.
Yeah, I think it's pretty simple. Up until 2004 or 5, the web was in pretty good shape, and it was driven by, I would say, self-expression and people just creating those quirky, funky websites. I had one that I would probably be ashamed of now, but it was the...
Was it on GeoCities, Vlad?
Yeah, something like that. Like all those crazy graphics and
flashing things
under construction.
I was saying how madly in love I was with Meg Ryan and things like that. So,
Well, I certainly hope that hasn't changed.
stuff that one would do. But that sort of quickly changed as soon as then the most popular search engine, Google, adopted ads as a business model. And interestingly enough, Sergey and Larry, in their white paper describing PageRank, which basically led to Google, said very clearly that ads will ruin any search because of misalignment of incentives. And they were giving examples of other search engines at the time doing that and saying how Google will not do that. And about 6 years from that paper, they did indeed embrace the ad-based business model. And I think this is what fundamentally led to deterioration of the web over the next few decades. Because first, the search got worse because the incentives were wrong and the search experience was optimized for search customers, which were not the same as search users. The customers were advertisers, obviously. And the web consequently got worse because there were whole new generation of websites built around ad monetization as their sole primary purpose, which led to a ton of low quality content. And most of the web today, I would say 99% of all pages exist for the purpose of monetization through ads. And they do not exist for the purpose of informing and educating the reader. And that unfortunately includes most of the news websites that we read. So this process has been slow, and we haven't really been noticing it as it gradually happened over 2 decades. But it got into such a bad situation that many people today are waking up to this fact. And you cannot basically browse the web today without an ad blocker. If you're doing that, then good luck. But if you think about it, if everybody had an ad blocker, the 99% of the web would disappear. So this broken web exists basically and fundamentally only because there are still people out there, basically the most vulnerable, least tech savvy people, who are still consuming these ads and being targeted by them. So it's sort of a sad story, but I would say the last 20 years of the web have been built on a lie. And it's now sort of unraveling with these AI overviews in Google results. Those websites are suddenly realizing that there was no contract in place, and that Google convinced everybody that exposure was payment enough, like sending traffic. And these publishers got addicted to that traffic. The traffic is there no more, and Google sort of kept all for itself. So it's been sad to watch, but yeah, I got sort of woken up from this in 2018 and decided to do something about it.
What was the tipping point for you? When did you kind of realize that this was a problem?
Yeah, there were 2 things that happened. One was I literally remember the query. I was looking for GitLab, which is like a GitHub alternative. And Google served me an ad for GitLab, and then that same result below as an organic result. And I realized that I, as a user, am getting 2 identical results. And I felt like a monkey. I felt like my intelligence was so insulted by that. And that, for a $1 trillion company to do that to me as a user, I thought it was outrageous. And at the same time, my oldest kid was starting elementary school. And here in Palo Alto, they all get Chromebooks with Google pre-installed and all that. A fantastic distribution strategy for Google. But I also realized that my kid will be exposed to this crap over the next 12 years. She will be profiled, targeted with ads, and all sorts of bad things that I didn't want for my kids. And I have 3 kids, by the way. And yeah, at the time I could pay for YouTube Premium, for example, to get rid of ads, but there was no search engine, which I thought was, many times more important. And this is where the idea came from, basically.
Did you opt your daughter out of the Chromebook? I mean, what did you do then?
Funny thing happens. So, all my kids use Kagi. They install that on their Chromebooks. They go to school. Teacher sees Kagi, and the teacher goes like, "What's this?" And they turn it back to Google.
Really?
So there's a lot of education to be had. Yes, I mean, the teacher is acting obviously they're thinking they're acting in best interest, thinking the kid got malware or something, right? And it will take time for these ideas to propagate, I feel, but more and more people are realizing it.
Did you teach the teacher?
No, not really, but we are working on it. That's what we have Kevin for. Kevin is the head of education at Kagi.
He's good. Yes.
Yeah.
She should have said, this is my dad's company. What do you want?
Yeah. Palo Alto, for God's sakes.
Come on.
I was going to say, those kids have all got to have like 7 parental installed apps that their parents work at.
Yeah.
Every kid in that school, I'm sure, has a different app.
So you also do you have your own spider now? Are you able to do your own web searching?
Yeah, we crawl the web, but as I said, we focus on the non-commercial web.
Right.
Because this is what's being left out in all other search engines. And, just anecdotally from our users, this is, I think, what many of them find very valuable, to actually read human blogs and things like that. I
completely agree. Yeah.
Even when you do commercial queries like best, running shoes or headphones, you're going to see a lot of writing from people who are not trying to monetize their content. And that is extremely valuable. I want to read from the guy who tried 5, different running shoes and, picked one, and there are no affiliate links. So that's what I'm looking for. So yeah, this is the kind of the web that we are mostly interested in and have resources to crawl.
I noticed that the number one site people block, because with Kagi you can say, I don't want results from this site or that site, is Pinterest.
The number 2 site, pinterest.co.uk. The number 3 site, pinterest.de. The number 4 site, pinterest.ca. It goes on. I find this fascinating.
So I don't block anything.
I like Pinterest, but I also do think this is definitely like a meme among tech people. They're like, all of my search results have Pinterest in them. So it's very funny to see that.
One of the other things you're doing is integrating with other third-party applications, which I think is very cool. If you're a Mac user and use Alfred, you can have that built into your Alfred search. I imagine there'll be more of these as people become more and more aware of Kagi. You also, and this is really important for people who are very privacy focused, you have a very clever privacy protecting tool that makes it so that you can't even see what people are searching for. Tell us a little bit about that feature.
Sure. So one of the main features of Kagi, I would say, is that privacy basically comes with a business model, because we are not interested in user data. We are interested in your $5 or $10 a month, and that's it. That's where the transaction stops, and which makes user data a liability for Kagi, actually. So we want the least amount of it as possible. But we also realize that saying that is not enough for some users, for hardcore, privacy users. And so we developed this technology called Privacy Pass, which actually builds on some very interesting research that has been done recently in the field of cryptography. And basically, when you use Privacy Pass in Kagi, we cannot tell who the user searching is on a technical level. Like, even if we wanted to know who you are, we still cannot tell, but we can authenticate and know that somebody paid to be able to search, because ultimately you need to be able to pay. This is why this was such a challenge, because you need a payment, but we wanted not to have ability to know who the user is on a technical level. Uh-huh. So this is what Privacy Pass does.
And then if you really want to add to privacy, and Lee Hutchinson talks about this, you also have a Tor address. So people can go to you without even using their IP address. So you can be completely anonymous on Kagi.
Yes, you can be completely anonymous and still have paid for your account.
Really nice.
Do you work with folks like Common Crawl? Are there others who want to use your crawl? How does that, is there a crawling community?
Yes, they are. There's Common Crawl is something we use. Actually, one of our employees comes from Common Crawl. We are also opening our search API very soon. So
Nice.
Great.
it's going to be announced in about a month or so. And I see a lot of demand for that, especially now in the age of AI. I would say all these models are sort of converging to the same place. And what makes the difference in accuracy is the quality of search you feed to them. So having something like Kagi search results instead of your Bing or Google results can tremendously increase the accuracy of AI answers, which is still their biggest sort of link. So very bullish on the search API that we are working on.
We should, somebody's asking in our Club to Discord, we should mention that you are on all platforms, Windows, Mac, Linux. It's easy to integrate it into almost any browser. You offer your own browser, Orion, which is for Mac only or iOS only. But you also plan to do that in Linux, I think, yes?
Yeah, we'll now, in Kagi, there's no lack of ambition. There's only lack of resources. So it took us a while to get to the stage that we announced we are now going to do Orion on Linux. And then a lot of Windows users said, well, why not Windows? Like, we are the biggest market. Linux is the smallest. Like, we are not optimizing for market share or growth. Nice. We are doing things that we can do. Linux is in the works. It's coming in about 9 months. We hope so. Yeah.
Well, it's based on WebKit, which is based on, of course, K back in the day. So Linux is kind of a natural place to go next, I think, from a development point of view. Doggo is your little mascot, right? Is that your dog?
Yes. Well, not my dog. Well, that's the one on the screen is user-generated one. We had a contest. I'm not sure. Actually, my eyesight is pretty bad. We had a contest with users who draw Doggo.
It's very cute. When you click on him, he looks down and says, "Let's fetch." So that's
There's a cute little interaction there.
This may remind you of the old days when a search page didn't have a lot of crap on it. It just had, what do you want to find? You do a lot of the Boolean stuff that Google did, including the quoted searches. You have the lens, which is fantastic as a way of customizing the sources. I can go on and on. Read Lee Hutchinson's very good article on Ars Technica. He talks about a lot of features, some of which I didn't know. In fact, now I'm starting to think, instead of paying for Perplexity and ChatGPT and Anthropic's Claude, and I have $20 subscriptions with so many different AIs, they're all available in the Assistant. I might just move it all to the Kagi Assistant, right? It's the same. What do I need all of them for? In fact, it's better because I can customize it, and you have some really interesting ones, including this new Moonshot LLM, which is pretty interesting. I'm starting to think this is going to be. I'm going to spend more time than ever before in Kagi. I congratulate you, 53,000 members as of this recording. That's great. Try it for free, folks. Pay for it if you want it to continue. I really think this is so important. Having seen Neva go down because they just couldn't make it as a paid search, I really want Kagi to make it. And I think, Vlad, you got the right idea. So glad you're doing what you're doing. Thank you, Vlad Prelovac. It's really nice to talk to you. I didn't give you guys much chance to talk to Vlad because I'm kind of...
you're the super fan.
I'm starstruck. Yeah.
He's really been talking about Kagi for a long time on this podcast.
Yeah. I don't know why everybody doesn't use it. This is fantastic.
It takes time. And thanks for helping spread the word, Leo.
It really does take time. A lot to us. Yeah. It does take time. I learned about it first, as many did, on Hacker News. So Hacker News probably spread the word first. But man, it's just, and you keep adding features, which makes it even more interesting.
We love what we do.
Yeah. Lifetime member, Orion Plus member, by the way.
Oh, thank you so much.
I just, I want you to make it. I want you to succeed. It's so exciting. And you know what? You're getting there. A million queries yesterday. That's good.
Yeah.
That's a lot of traffic going on.
I like to say that's about 9 seconds of Google searches in a day. So, we are 9 seconds of Google. That's not too bad.
Are any VCs coming to you now?
Yeah, we have VC interest now, but now we're not interested.
So to say, it's interesting you exclusively raise like the 2.5 million you guys have so far outside of your contributions from user investors.
Yeah.
So do you have any further plan to, I guess, raise from either user investors or go the VC route?
Yeah, we found out that the user route was really nice because it was super easy. We had a lot of interest. I think about 90 users ended up investing. And these are all, our biggest fans. We get a lot of help and support from them. I brainstorm with them all the time. So it's much better, I think, than having, investor-based board that tells us what to do. So in terms
you don't have the pressures to scale as
and no pressure.
Well.
Yeah, I like that for me. So yeah, well, we do have some pretty ambitious projects down the road that we are experimenting with now. So if that needs extra capital, we're probably going to go that route again.
Good.
Yeah.
I don't allow myself to invest in tech companies, but I think this would be okay. It's a public benefit after all.
Is there a way to? User Martin Sassenberg asks if there's a way to, do you guys have documentation on how to SEO websites for Kagi to try and to put a website into getting scraped by you guys?
It's super simple. We have something called Kagi Small Web. So if you have a personal website or a blog that's non-commercial in nature, you just add it there. We automatically crawl you. And not only that, we're going to push it to number 2 or 3 in results for relevant queries, all automatically. So this is basically our way to surface all the high quality stuff people are writing out there. If it's a commercial website, then it's a different story. And one day we're going to launch Webmaster Tools and have more information on that.
Nice.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
I almost thought you'd say, no, we don't want any SEO. I am going to add my little blog to the Kagi small web feed. And also, you're offering AI tools to small blogs, which I have also applied for because I think that would be very interesting. Yeah, really cool. You're doing it just shows that you could do good, important, innovative work without being, about monetizing your customers, and in any way but give us $5 so that we can, support you. I think that's fantastic. Thank you, Vlad. Kagi is also on Discord, so you can talk back and learn more about Kagi from the people who are working on it right now. Vlad, thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it.
Thank you. Been an honor.
Kagi.com. Try it for free. This episode of Intelligent Machines brought to you by Monarch Money. Oh, I like Monarch Money. This is actually a good example of a company who says, look, we don't want to take your information and sell it. You can subscribe and we will give you objective information about your money and where it stands. In fact, I liked it so much, I immediately signed up for a year as soon as I found it, monarchmoney.com. Finances can be messy and confusing. And especially nowadays, it's like, what is going on? Monarch Money basically acts like your personal CFO, your chief financial officer, giving you full visibility and control so you can stop just, kind of grinding away and start growing your assets. It's a lot more than your average budgeting app. Of course, it does budgeting, does that. It's great, but it's more like Monarch Money is more like a complete financial command center for your all your accounts, credit card, checking, savings, investment accounts, assets, and your goals, right? You also put in your goals. You don't just manage your money. You're going to start building your wealth. And right now, we've got a great deal. You could start being a managing your wealth by getting 50% off your first year if you go to monarchmoney.com and use the code IM. It's really about building the life you actually want. And trust me, as somebody on the other side of retirement, you got to start managing your finances now, you young folks, to build that life. Without a clear financial picture, financial dreams, that first home, the new baby, retirement can just feel impossible. But burying your head in the sand is not the way to get what you need. Monarch makes managing money simple, even if you're busy. All of your accounts are in there, all your credit cards, all your investments, everything in one place, so you know exactly where you stand without the hassle. You could track your spending, your savings, your investments effortlessly, so you can focus on what matters most, making your biggest life goals a reality. And I've set it up to get notifications about things that are important to me, but not be bugged about the stuff I don't care about. It really is the financial tool people actually love. Join over 1 million households. Named Wall Street Journal's best budgeting app of 2025, is the top recommended personal finance app by users and experts. Over 30,000 five-star reviews. Get control of your overall finances with Monarch Money. Use the code IM at monarchmoney.com in your browser for half off your first year. That's 50% off your first year. monarchmoney.com, the code IM. Highly recommend this. Ladies and gentlemen, let us continue on with the AI news. This was a week. This was a week. It almost makes me feel like I'm not accelerationist enough.
I wouldn't have guessed that was the sentence that was going to follow.
No, same here.
I don't even know where to begin. We're still waiting for ChatGPT 5 from OpenAI. But
did you see someone, was it Sam Altman or somebody from OpenAI said ChatGPT 4, it's represented as a tiny dot. ChatGPT 5, a much larger dot. Get excited. So, there could be a much bigger dot coming, guys. Everybody get pumped.
He's really a good marketer. He also tweeted something like, imagine having the smartest person you ever met in your pocket. Well, that's ChatGPT 5.
That's a little weird.
I wouldn't want.
No,
I'm not putting
get out of
in
there.
my pockets.
But I think,
I'm a woman.
and also it's
pockets that
overselling the
large.
idea that this thing is smart. It's not smart, but it is very, very useful. So what they did release just yesterday is their first open weight models in a long time. ChatGPT OSS 120B and 20B.
Did they ever release open weights before?
It says in this Wired article, ChatGPT 2, but nobody wanted ChatGPT 2.
Nobody wanted that.
Now the ability to run these models on your local system. Now the 120 gigabyte model you probably can't run on a system unless you've got a lot of VRAM, a lot of GPU.
How does that compare to the small llamas?
I think Llama's 70, so it's big. It's 50% bigger, more than 50% bigger. 20B you could run on almost any machine. Sam said, "We're excited to make this model the result of billions of dollars of research." They have billions. In fact, they are now letting their employees sell their stock at a valuation of $500 billion, which is pretty good for a company that I don't think has ever made any money, but I might be wrong.
You
can download them both for free on Hugging
that's
Face
right.
as usual. Okay. The last open weight model released by OpenAI was ChatGPT 2 back in 2019.
Here, anybody could drive our Edsel.
But these are their state-of-the-art models. Well, they will be, or they will be until 5 comes out, right?
And for clarification,
Apache 2.0
open weight
license.
models are just basically models that you're able to download locally and tweak
And run locally
play around
without
with.
sending any information back to the home office. And I think they're being pushed into this by the active Chinese community, the QN from Alibaba and DeepSeek and
Yes,
the French
but it's interesting
Mistral
that-
also. Huh?
It's interesting that Zuckerberg has been backing off open.
Yeah.
But at the same time, Jan LeCun is waving the flag out loud of open. So I think there must be something going on in Meta to decide what's going to be open and what's not.
Yeah, I mean, they never officially said we're going to pull back on our open source.
No, but it's
LLMs.
been obviously some discussion.
Yeah,
It was reported by the New York Times that they were considering it.
yeah, internally, but that was
But it was an interpretation of what he was saying about the difficulties of this. But yeah, I think the pressure to be open remains huge.
There's also, I think, it's fair to say, a benefit to being open. Then you get a lot more people working with your tools, and there's some value to that.
Hi, this is Benito. I also think people who are really, really serious about this AI stuff, they use local.
Oh yeah, Oh, yeah. In fact, I'm very interested in running my AI locally. Or, it's interesting to do it through, for instance, Kagi in a more privacy-forward way would be very interesting. One of the things Kagi does with its assistant is you can say, preserve all my chats, which is the default in most AI chatbots, or delete it every day. Start fresh. I don't want you to remember anything I say to you. And now that we know that, which Sam Altman has been quick to say, everything you say to ChatGPT could be subpoenaed at some point.
By the New York Times.
Yeah, the court is forcing them to preserve it in this New York Times lawsuit. So he wants to make sure you understand that you have no privacy when you're chatting on the server. That doesn't mean if you download the models and chat locally. It's just that it takes a lot of hardware to run.
So I spoke to the AI librarian at Stony Brook yesterday.
Is this a human librarian that
yes, it is a
knows
human
AI?
Librarian. Yes.
Or
yes. It is the librarian for AI, not the AI librarian. I misspoke. And he's running a local model. They've got a few GPUs, and he's using Llama, and it allows the university to take the collections that they don't necessarily want to make public or can't, and make them open to the students. The openness enables so much university innovation.
So is this, you said, I mean, you'd previously described him as the AI librarian. Is this guy's full-time job?
Yeah.
Focusing on...
He was just hired.
Wow.
From
That's really
USAID,
fascinating.
by the way. Yeah.
Wow.
We might want to have him on the show at some point.
I think that would be really interesting. I mean, I'm like very interested in the niche applications of these tools and modeling, that you can get. I'd be curious, I guess, also to hear how students are using it or faculty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's just the beginning of this wild.
It's a sandstorm coming.
It is a sandstorm. I'm telling you, we're getting close. We're getting close.
I still love it. We're not.
We're not getting close until the technology to make an AI-powered video graphic for this podcast that is sand-focused exists.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that because
You can
There
make a
is
whole
a new-
environment.
Seconds.
there is a new open world model that has just come out from Google. Let me show you the video that Google posted on the keyword blog. It's called Genie 3. Now, what's different about this? Now, of course, they have VO, right? But Genie 3 creates open world models, models you can wander around in. They have some persistence as well.
Are you saying the AI bubble has gotten so big that we've circled back around the metaverse bubble?
I honestly think,
Are there going to be
if you
NFTs
think about it,
in my AI
if
now?
if you're a believer in the simulation hypothesis, this would be an important step into the simulation. So you type in a text prompt, it will generate a video like VO does, but a video you can wander around in.
And that is live.
It's live. So this is the video.
Actions. You're not walking through a pre-built simulation. Everything you see here is being generated live as you explore it.
Now, it's not out yet.
Genie 3 has world memory.
So, and we know Google sometimes can oversell
Stay
stuff.
consistent.
Usually they do it on
have
stage.
legs.
Now watch this. So he's
Legs.
painting a wall with a blue. Oh yeah, you can look at your feet, by the way.
You can have legs in this open
Yes.
world.
Oh,
Okay,
anything.
it's not.
So watch. Now he's
permanent.
painted this pattern. Now watch. He's going to look away. In the past, AIs might have generated a whole new wall when you look back, but no, the pattern is persistent, and that's one of the.
Promptable events.
Now watch
You can
this.
add new events
This
into
is
your
amazing.
world on the fly. Something like another person.
A man in a chicken suit appears from the
Or
left.
This is about a
man in a
block
jet
from
ski.
their office in London. So
Or even
notice the
something
water
totally
comes up on the, but doesn't stay there.
Yeah, it's still not perfect. If you look closely, you probably could tell it was generated,
All kinds of unique environments.
but you'd have to look pretty closely.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Geographies.
Leo, the video they put up comparing version 2 to version 3 is striking.
Oh yeah, let's go back to the blog. Is it on that blog post?
It's on that blog post, yeah.
Yeah. So they still have VO. There are limitations to what Genie 3 could do. It's only 720p. It can only do a few minutes, which is actually more than VO. It can only do 8 seconds. So this is, are these the two together?
Oh,
yeah,
no.
this is it.
Is that it? Yes, it is. You got to
Yeah.
back up, though.
How do I, even control this.
Reload the page or something.
Maybe that's it. Yeah. There we go. So if we look more closely, Genie 2 is on the left. This is the other thing that I think encourages me that we are getting very close to some sort of massive breakthrough is the speed with which these improvements are happening. I mean, it's happening fast. So not only does it look better, you could see it lasts longer.
Movements are smoother.
Yeah. And you're controlling this with your keyboard, with your arrow keys.
Paris, as a gamer, are you not jazzed?
I mean, I'm probably not the person to ask because I like games that are like very human and I enjoy like the actual physical. Like one of my favorite games is that Gutenberg press era one where everything is
Pentimento.
Like hand petiment, where everything is
as
drawn.
As soon as
like
I can buy a
new
Switch, I'm going to send Jeff my old Switch so he can play.
Jeff is going to literally like love it. It is, every aspect of it is Jeff bait. But I mean, I'm interested in stuff like this, but it kind of reminds me of some of the criticism around, probably Benita's going to have to help me. What is the open world game put out by Bethesda that had all the AI like generated worlds that everybody criticized for it feeling too sparse and just procedurally generated?
Or something like that?
Starfield. Yes.
No, it wasn't Starfield. Was it Starfield?
It is Starfield.
Oh, okay.
It came out, I think, around the time of like Baldur's Gate 3. And I remember being like, I should like into this. I'm also into Baldur's Gate 3. Like, I love Bethesda games. And I mean, maybe these advents in kind of the processing power that you're talking about here might change that. But I do think that it pointed to kind of a problem we still have with this, which is even if you have the technical capability to generate a whole world, unless there's someone trying to design that world or think about it in a way that is like, what about this is going to be interesting to a player, it's not going to feel the same as something crafted to be fascinating and interesting
and
to someone.
That's also
that was the problem I had
new.
with No Man's Sky. It was kind of similar. I played both Starfield and No Man's Sky, and they both got kind of tedious because procedurally generated worlds are not.
Exactly. Like, this isn't new for games. Like, we've had procedurally generated worlds for a long time.
Well, but what's interesting is these might be, I mean, look, there's no way these aren't going to be in games over the next few years, that the movies, games, and other things aren't going to.
Yes, but not wholesale this way. It's still going to be heavily curated by somebody who's designing an experience for another person. It's not going to be just like
a tool for them to do that with.
Yeah, it's a tool for them to do that with. It's not going to be like me jumping into this and being like, go, you know?
Maybe it will. That would empower you to make that kind of
that's the problem. It's not like, I don't know what I want. I need a good game designer to give me a good game because I don't know what I want.
Well, then you shouldn't design games. Okay, let's just say that.
You don't know what you want either until you get it. You know what I mean? But
there's a reason why game design is a field that some people
George
are very
Romero
good at and
knows
some
what he's
people are
doing.
not.
And don't you think that John Carmack?
Yeah, sure. So I want John Carmack to design something with this tool for me.
Well, that's exactly what's going to happen.
That's not, well, okay.
But that's exactly what's going to happen. You're going to have the John Carmacks, and there's going to be some kid now who doesn't have. John Carmack was an amazing coder, right? He's the guy who wrote Doom and was able to do stuff with very primitive hardware nobody thought possible. But there's going to be some kid out there who doesn't code, but who has a vision for a game, who's going to start using tools like this. Maybe not today. They may be a few years off. Here's another example of breakthrough technology. This is called Kitten text-to-speech. It runs on a potato, by which they mean a really crappy computer. This is an open source voice model that can run on your computer's CPU only, 25 megabyte model. It's teensy weensy. And you might say, well, we've had text-to-speech before, but it never sounds very good at that. Listen to Kitten.
Kitten TTS is an open-source series of tiny and expressive text-to-speech models for on-device applications. Our smallest model is less than 25 megabytes.
The world needs frontier open-source models that are tiny enough to run on edge devices.
Well, they're using kind of Kitten.
That's what Kitten ML is here.
I don't think you have to use cutesy voices.
Was started just 2 weeks ago, and we're excited to launch a preview of our smallest model.
This model has 15 million parameters,
don't
and
like
we are
that one.
releasing the
That's
preview
Grok-esque.
just to give early users a sense of the latency and voices that will be available in next week's
Child
release.
labor.
We are looking for early testers that can provide feedback to shape the future of these models.
Leo, have you taken a PDF of a book and put it in 11 Labs and had it read to you?
Model.
Oh, no, I haven't done that yet.
How do you get it to do that?
Trained on.
I just saw that it was capable of that.
You can also do video.
But no, the
They've
thing
added
is,
video
as
now to
someone
Notebook
who
LLM.
wanted to do this with books, with audiobooks while on my road, or with books while on a road trip. I
Oh, yeah,
realized
you were
the
asking
problem
about this.
Is, we were texting about this.
Yeah.
Is that books are? It's kind of the book equivalent of copyright. Like they're locked down. The EPUB files.
Oh, I
if you
showed
get them
her
from
how to
most-
get around that.
So I need to do that. Yeah.
Like I sent you a PDF of a book about the invention of the loudspeaker.
Yeah,
Can you
let
put
me
that
let
in
me
it?
let
Can
me
you
put that in
11
here.
Labs?
Yeah, let's try it right now. By the way, 11 Labs voices are much better than almost anybody else. But the fact that Kitten can do this in 25 megabytes without a GPU,
God bless him. No smoke on them.
Yeah, and I don't think the voices have to sound that crappy. I have created a new folder just for that book called History. In my book, I have a lot of
You
EPUBs.
didn't have a history folder in your computer?
No, because my collection started mostly with programming manuals. But now I have, and by the way, we should mention that this is public domain now, right? This book?
Oh, yeah, it's old as hell.
It's old as hell. Doesn't mean
It's
it's
an
public
autobiography
domain.
of a guy who invented the loudspeaker in Napa.
It's called The Great Voice.
Magnavox, in other words.
Now, how do I get it to? I can do the audio overview, but how do I get a book?
Oh, where did I read that? Damn, I thought it was on the page.
Well, what I've done before in ye old ChatGPT is I upload a PDF and then I say, read this to me out loud verbatim in chunks or whatever. And usually then it will
Let's see
break
if,
down like a chunk. But I
let's
don't know
see
if that would work for a book because then you have to every time it's done, you have to go prompt it again to do another one. And
download its reader.
Oh, there's a Notebook LM reader?
That's where so I'm reading now 11labs.io/blog/read PDF aloud.
I can do now, because so we always had the audio overview, which was the goofy podcast hosts, who we now know, by the way.
11reader.io.
Oh, you're talking 11 Reader. I thought you were talking about Notebook LM.
No. I was talking about
no
11.
wonder. I'm trying to do this in Notebook LM. I have the app. 11 has an app.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I was asking you how to do this, because Paris wants to do this.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said Notebook LM. Didn't she say Notebook LM?
No, well, she then went on to that, but we're talking about
I don't even
Paris.
think I brought up Notebook LM, to be honest. But
Oh, no, you didn't.
Okay.
I said Chat GPT.
All right. Well, I pay for 11 Reader, and I like 11 Reader a lot. And it's the one where they paid for some very famous voices. I have Sir Laurence Olivier, and
I don't want a famous voice for some reason. I don't know. Does that feel strange to you?
His eyes sparkled, and he sent up a great blue triumphant cloud from his
Laurence
cigarette.
Olivier.
The paper was made
No,
in
it's not.
Bohemia. I said, precisely. And the man who wrote the note is a German?
Who
Do you
is
note
that?
the peculiar construction of
It's
the
a-
sentence?
synthesized voice of Laurence Olivier. Okay, it's not actually Laurence Olivier. He's gone. Reading Sherlock Holmes.
AI is so big, they've resurrected Laurence Olivier.
A Frenchman or Russian could not have written that. It is the German.
Here's the thing that I find interesting. They are so good at this that he's pausing. It sounds like he understands what he's reading, which obviously AI does not. But it communicates.
Uncourteous to his verbs. It only remains, therefore, to discover what is wanted by this German who writes upon Bohemian paper and prefers wearing a mask to showing his
It's pretty
face.
good, yeah.
Pretty good. All right.
Part of what I also
Tough
like
audience,
about the, I will say, I like this more than the average audiobook narrator. I keep having this problem that I've brought up in the show probably a million times before, which is whenever I'm
full-time US employees to adopt some form of flexible scheduling. It's like we've accidentally created a test.
That's not a famous person, but I like that voice.
That's just an obnoxious person.
Yeah.
Not plush, right?
Yeah.
scheduling.
Here's Cinderella, read by Judy
Gave her an
Garland.
old frock to put on and laughed at her and turned her into the kitchen. Then she was forced to do hard work, to rise early before daylight, to bring the water, to make the fire, to cook and to wash. She had no bed to lie down on.
These people are dead. Stop making them work.
Freaking amazing.
The phrasing is
let her rest.
Let these people rest.
Oh, you don't want me to use dead people anymore, huh?
I don't really want you to use live people anywhere. I honestly enjoyed the Judy Garland one. I do like that these.
I've had an annoying feeling lately about AI. Although the prophecies that chatbots...
That's Alex Kantrowitz. That's the real person. Just testing you.
I was going to say, that kind of sounded the fakest, but I think that there's something that something I've realized about some of these audiobook narrators or people reading scripts for podcasts is when they're focusing on reading, sometimes they don't modulate their voice because they are focusing on reading. Right. And that is really hard for my brain to grab onto. At least the machine-based readers know, like intrinsically in the programming, you've got to kind of modulate your tone and kind of switch it up a little bit.
It's hard
to keep
work.
Someone interesting.
This is why actors are very good at this, because they actually. So here's
Peter Rabbit by Beatrix Potter.
Burt Reynolds reading the tale of Peter Rabbit.
Once upon a time, there were 4
real
little
Burt
rabbits,
Reynolds,
and their names were.
He's dead too.
Flopsy.
He could have read it in the day.
That's all AI.
They lived with their mother in a sandbank underneath the root of a very big fir tree.
I think that's pretty freaking amazing. Do you want Maya Angelou reading it or Richard?
Bloomsbury presents Magazine.
Let's do.
Read by Jeff Jarvis.
Do you have yourself reading the AI thing?
Mentors. Pat Ryan, Joan Feeney. 1. The end.
Yeah, I think the AI would do a better job. I hate to tell you.
What sets magazines apart from their printed brethren?
No,
that's good.
Love this.
See, because
is coarse.
Often I like the author reading their own books.
Pulp.
By the way, if you're playing this from Audible, you're going to get us taken down.
Tactile impression of a doubt. Have you ever heard me speak so slowly?
That's why they have producers.
How many times do they have to tell you to slow down?
A lot. It's more muffled
How many takes do you think you took?
When Audible was a sponsor, I went to their Newark headquarters and they said, "Here, you can read a story." And man, they had to stop me every 5 words.
It's
slow
hard.
down.
It is so hard. And you've got a producer who's reading the text, and if you leave out a "the," they see it, and you got to go back.
You got to go back. Yeah.
So Paris, other cheaper productions, they back the tape up to where you screwed up, and then you've got to pick up. The more expensive productions, you just go back and repeat it, and they edit it.
Wait, they still use tape? They're using tape? What are you talking about?
Well, they're virtually.
Yeah, there's a guy.
Yeah, they've got a whole big.
They got scissors and tape on the tape, and then they splice it.
Sometimes they run out of tape.
Here is the physicist Richard Feynman reading The Little Match Girl.
Match Girl by Hans Christian Andersen. Most terribly cold it was. It snowed and was nearly quite dark in evening.
That's more Christopher
the last
Walken.
evening of the year.
I don't like
this. That's really what Feynman sounds like. I have
no. He doesn't sound
Feynman's lectures.
That sounded
lectures.
more. Yeah,
well, he sounds just like that.
So this is all 11 labs you've been playing?
Yeah, it's an app. It's a great app. I paid.
You can put in any PDF. That's the question.
Anything you own. Yeah, you can even train it with your voice if you really wanted to hear yourself. Ooh. You want to hear Deepak Chopra?
When you align your thoughts with love, compassion, and gratitude, you open yourself to the infinite potential of the universe.
See, they licensed all this stuff. That's what's interesting. How about John Wayne reading what Sherlock Holmes? That'd be pretty funny, wouldn't it?
I just imagine that this is what you do in your free time when you're not on the show, but just maybe to no one at all.
Yeah, just by myself.
Abuses himself.
Lonely man. I just sit here and.
Has anybody used AI for anything interesting this week personally? Or small?
I use it every day, but
I know. But is there anything you're like,
do it interesting,
kind of useful?
Yeah. So, a family member has got an email from his doctor saying, "Well, we got something interesting on your CT scan. We think you should come in." It was cause for concern, they wrote, and then they described it. And Lisa and I are looking at each other going, well, what does that mean? The cause for concern? How serious is this? We put it into Perplexity and got a lot of great information out of it. It actually eased our minds because of the variety of causes possible for the symptoms he was showing.
Did you share those results immediately with this person?
Yeah, we said, hey, here's the good news. Because you know what? Everybody always goes to cancer, right? Here's the good news. There are 20 other things that could cause this, not cancer. So let's
And what did the doctor say?
Well, he's going to go in for the test. But this is the problem. He got that email, didn't even talk to it. This is the modern medicine. This is a very good use for AI because modern medicine now is just terrible in the U.S. No doctor called, which I think on something like that, a person should call.
Drives me nuts, yes.
And then said, and we'll make an appointment for you in a week. So he's got to sit for a week in mystery. So I think that's a very good use of AI. Of course, you're not looking for, well, that's cancer for sure. You're looking for options, information, and it was very good at doing that. What else have I used it for lately? I use it all the time.
Did you see Illinois?
I use it for my diet, for exercise.
I will say, so the reason this was prompted by is I log all my meals through like one of those like fitness tracker, like calorie breakdown macro sort of thing.
Which one do you use?
I use Lose It. I don't have any particular
Chronometer.
Listen, yeah, probably should change. It was just the first thing I decided to download. It works.
Take a look at
well,
Chronometer. They just added a new feature.
I do like that I can
take
just
a picture of the meal, and it tells you what you're eating and what the calories and macros are.
Using what?
Chronometer.
AI.
Using what AI tool? Because what I'm about to describe
you.
is how I use like ChatGPT 4.5 for that. And it usually ends up being fairly accurate. I don't use it. I use it if I'm like eating out or something, or if I like get a biscuit from the bakery and then I weigh it at home and I want to get a rough estimate of what the calories are.
So I just took a photo of my lunch. This isn't a good test because it says what's on it.
Yeah.
But it's scanning it right now. And it's going to tell me.
To be honest, I don't imagine that ChatGPT or whichever LLM is powering that is 100% accurate, but it's kind of fairly. Oh,
Correct.
does it go straight in there?
It's also written on the side of the thing
it.
you just scanned, by the way.
Well, yeah, he admitted that.
I mean,
no,
yes.
I know. In fact, mostly what you do is take a picture of a plate of food without a description. But it may be wrong. It says that was 2,801 calories, but I'm not going to eat the whole thing.
Is that correct?
But no,
is that
Chronometer
what it says
is
on the
fantastic. I used Lose It. I've used them all. This is the one I use now. It ties into Apple Health. It ties into my Oura Ring.
I mean, they all tie into
ties into everything.
Yeah.
My scale. So it knows, it knows
I don't know.
everything
I've
about
just found it somewhat kind of useful daily thing that I like. Even I've been using.
You're not on a diet, though.
I just track what I like consume.
It's a great habit.
Things.
You should get it. Everybody
I think it is very good. Yeah, But I recently was purchasing some of those like ready meal things from one of those companies, Thistle. Honestly, it's been pretty good. Been using it for
is
weeks.
Thistle good?
But
You like that? Yeah.
I have. Listen, I'm getting allegedly a delivery of it during this show, so I'll go and get the.
Go and show us the Thistle.
I will show you.
What's their pitch? Their pitch is something, right? They do health or something.
They do like a kind of vegan, plant focused. They also have meat options, but I really just enjoy it. Like they've got like good salad options for lunch and interesting dinners. I'll show you, I guess, when I get it. But part of it is they have the macros and the breakdown on the back of each package, but it's like in these like little small font, and I'm like, I want to get that into my app, but I don't have to sit there and like.
Oh, you could take a picture of it in Chronometer.
I was to say, I just took a photo of it in ChatGPT and had it combine both the salad dressing and the other one and all of it into one thing, copied it over, and it was great.
Isn't that nice?
I don't know. It was
so here's another
nice,
thing I
useful,
do. I give
the
AIs. In this case, I think I did all of them just to see who gave me better results. A picture of all my supplements and medications, and then it gives me information about them, whether I should take it with a meal or not. And then I said, okay, is this a good mix? They gave me an overall assessment. What are the interactions? What should be monitored? What my next blood work should be based on what I'm eating. This was really useful. This was fantastic.
Wait, can you go back to the photo? What are all the supplements you're taking?
Oh, it's a little out of date now. I don't do creatine anymore, but that's a picture.
Wow.
And
It's on the internet?
No.
Okay. I thought it looked like you were scrolling through a web page. I was
No,
like,
it's Obsidian.
Do you blog about your supplements?
I could take it straight out of Obsidian, but no, this is Obsidian. And it recommended a couple of additional supplements. It said you should and I told, the prompt was my health conditions and all my weight and all that stuff. It said you might want to try ALA. It helps with diabetic neuropathy and reduces fasting glucose. Also berberine, vitamin K2. It recommended some stuff to try. To add to my, it's good. It was really good.
So what do you think of Illinois' law just signed?
Okay, let's talk about this. Illinois has been on the forefront of anti-AI legislation. They have a very good, I think, anti-face recognition law. Tell us about the new one, Jeff.
So they've outlawed the use of AI for mind therapy. Either marketing it as a therapist or allowing therapists themselves to use it as a part of their services.
I think I couldn't disagree with this more. I acknowledge, as we had an interview on this and we've talked about it, that there are problems with using it. But many therapists have said it's a valuable tool. And my biggest problem is it's premature for a state to just outlaw it. People in Illinois will not have the option to try this.
But I think that there is a need for some mechanism for standards, because I can go along tomorrow and I can just use ChatGPT and I can say, this is going to save your life, and I can market it and make money and be a charlatan of charlatans.
This isn't a standard. It bans it.
I know, but I'm saying there's something between this and that.
Oh, yeah.
That just to allow it and to not have a caveat emptor here is dangerous.
I think all we should have is a caveat emptor and information for people and let them choose, because the jury's still out. There are plenty of people, including therapists, who say it's a valuable tool.
I don't know. I think it's fairly reasonable. Hold on. My headphones just died.
Gosh darn it.
Okay, one of them is still in, so I'm going to keep talking. I think it's fairly reasonable that this law prohibits AI systems from delivering therapeutic treatment or making clinical decisions. I think that's pretty straightforward and perfectly reasonable at this stage in the game. You should not have a LLM like chatbot making clinical decisions and giving therapeutic treatment.
Well, I think that's probably true. I don't think an AI can prescribe anything in absent an actual physician. Those laws already exist. So a physician would still have to write the prescription.
Yeah, but I mean, I think that this is kind of common sense, like first step.
But that's not what this does. This says you can't use it at all.
Let's go to the text the bill.
It's an outright ban. And by the way, Florida's Ron DeSantis says we're next. AI is very dangerous. We're going to ban it.
This act provides that an individual, corporation, or entity may not provide, advertise, or otherwise offer therapy or psychotherapy services to the public in Illinois unless those services are conducted by an individual who is a licensed professional. And that licensed professional can only use an AI system to the extent that AI system meets like the definitions of an AI system. They cannot use that AI system to make independent therapeutic decisions, directly interact with clients in any form of therapeutical communication,
none of their business.
Generate therapeutic recommendations.
So, Leo, do you think I should be free? Should I be free tomorrow?
I don't want them telling me what I can and cannot do. That is BS.
Wait. So
you're not a licensed therapist. It's not telling you anything. It's saying that a licensed therapist cannot offer you licensed
so an individual
therapy
in the state of Illinois can use this. Yeah, I could go to Abby, the website where they have therapy. That's legal in Illinois.
Well, I don't know if it would be legal for Abby to offer that, but I think that you could use an LLM to give yourself one-on-one. They're not going to take you to jail for it. They're not going to take you to jail. They're going to say
that's the most dangerous use of it. It's some individual saying, I think I'm going to get some therapy from ChatGPT. That's the most dangerous use of it.
You've been arguing on this show a million different times that should be totally fine.
Yeah,
and
I don't want the government to tell me what I can do with my ChatGPT. But if you wanted to say, well, here's the most harm, it's when individuals, absent the help of a therapist, use it.
Well, that's what we're saying.
No, they didn't ban that.
It bans using an AI system to make independent therapeutic decisions, directly interact with clients, and generate therapeutic recommendations
under the aegis of a therapist,
or treatment plans without the review and approval by a licensed professional. So a licensed professional could use these tools, but they have to have review and they have to be in the loop.
Can I use it in my house?
Straightforward.
In the privacy of my own home, can I use it?
Doesn't say anything about that.
Leo, let me put it this way. Can I just go to move to Illinois? I'm going to move to Illinois, and I'm going to put a shingle outside my door, and I'm going to declare myself a therapist.
That's the way it is in California. Anybody can be a counselor in California.
Well, that's California.
A counselor is different than a licensed therapist.
Well, no, I think that's true in most states. There is a licensing program. I know my wife was a MFT, and before that an MFCC, and she went through a lot of stuff to become a licensed therapist, my ex-wife. But that doesn't stop somebody from just putting out a shingle saying, I am a counselor, and if you've got PTSD, I can help. That's not illegal.
That makes me uncomfortable.
I mean,
you have to get a license to cut hair.
What makes me, well, that's another problem. It is a lot harder to become a hair cutter in California than it is to become a lot of things. And I don't think it's exclusive to California. So first of all, this is an issue because each state is going to have its different laws, and it's going to be a variety of laws. And this was why they wanted to, Marsha Blackburn wanted
ban
to have
all
a
state
ban
regulation
on state regulation. But the problem
Do
was
you
they
believe
didn't propose any federal regulation either. So they were essentially saying we're going to ban regulation. I think if there's going to be regulation, it should be very judicious and careful because we don't know a lot about what's going on right now.
But now that person who would do it federally is just killing mRNA, which might cure cancer, and we're not going to get there. So I don't really want federal regulation.
Well, yeah. So maybe we shouldn't have any regulation, right? Yeah, that, by the way, is the most shocking thing that's happened.
Yeah, that's as anti-science as you can get.
Basically, you want to talk test grill. It's clear that RFK Jr. is a eugenicist, and he thinks that if you get sick, you should, either get better on your own or die and make the species more strong. And this guy is insane, and he should not be in charge of our vaccine program.
Yep.
But he is. There is a lot of information. The information is unclear at this point about how useful or unuseful. And that's why I think it's premature for Illinois to ban. It says bans AI from providing mental health services.
You're not looking at the text of the bill. You're looking at someone's write-up. The write-up says it prohibits a licensed therapist to use an AI system to make independent therapeutic decisions, directly interact with clients.
Why shouldn't a trained therapist be able to do that? Can your physician?
If you let me finish. If you let me finish speaking, it says generate therapeutic recommendations or treatment plans without the review and approval by a licensed professional. I think that's really reasonable. I think that if you're trying to offer services that are being described as coming from a licensed therapy professional, you can't do that just by handing it off to a LLM and claiming that that's you.
Okay, so if it's a very narrow thing, which is I'm a licensed professional. You come to me for therapy. I say, hey, here's your chatbot. Go have fun. I'm not going to pay any attention to what conversation you have. That's what it protects against.
And it also says I can't start a company that's going to offer
that's what Abby
therapy
is. Yeah. So those websites might
struggle in Illinois. And I mean, I'm
not sure that's a bad thing.
I don't think that's
all right,
the end all. Yeah,
but I think it's a little moral. I think it's moral panic, Jeff, because it comes from reading these stories about this guy killed himself.
He said it. Don't we get a video? There we go. It's one of my favorites.
It really is great.
I don't like laws that are written to respond to sensational news stories.
I mean, then you don't like any laws, I guess, because most laws.
That's pretty much all it is. Yeah. Laws are ripped from the headlines, folks.
Yeah. Did you see? Wow! And I put this in the show notes. First of all, Palantir has just signed a $10 billion Army contract. Palantir, which is Alex Karp and Peter Thiel's AI for military
and police.
This is a 10-year deal. They are raking it in DC. But I put a link in here to a video of Palantir's CEO talking about kind of his vision of what AI's role in what really military defense's role is in the world we live in today. This is Alex Karp, the CEO of Palantir.
Americans are the most loving, God-fearing, fair, least discriminatory people on the planet.
What?
They want to know that if you're waking up and thinking about harming American citizens, or if American citizens are taken hostage and kept in dungeons, or if you're a foreign power sending fentanyl to poison our people, something really bad is going to happen to you and your friends and your cousins and your bank account and your mistress and whoever was involved. And you know, when Americans are spending $1 trillion on defense, what I want and what I think my peers want is, why are these people keeping our citizens hostage, torturing our people, attacking our allies, maligning
in El Salvador,
us in what was once called the United Nations, basically a discriminatory institution against anything good? We need to stand up, and those people need to be scared. And that's why this conference is so important, because we have the best products in the world, and we cannot have parity. Our adversaries do not have our moral compunction. If it's even, they will take advantage of our niceness, kindness, our desire to be at home in Nebraska or New Hampshire or wherever we live in our peaceful environments. And they need to wake up scared and go to bed scared. And if you give that to the American people, the American people will go back and say, and honestly, probably shouldn't say this is why I thought the Democrats were going to lose the election, why they did, because people want to live in peace. They want to go home. They do not want to hear your woke pagan ideology. They want to know they're safe. And safe means that the other person is scared. That's how you make someone safe.
Safe means the other person is scared. This is the nut job.
That's the telling part about it. That's the telling part, yeah.
Yeah.
He's a nut job.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So I was trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. You may remember I read his book, The Technological Republic. I thought it seemed fairly reasonable in the beginning. It goes off the rails, much like this, as it continues. This guy just got $10 billion from the United States Army to put AI into our military.
And other governments. Germany is having huge discussions right now because they plan to use it in policing there. Germany, plus Israel, plus other nations.
He's a nut.
Uh-huh.
It goes on, by the way. I cut it off because I couldn't take anymore. But yeah, I think you got the flavor of it.
Yeah.
My first thought is, if this is the sort of thing he's saying on stage at a conference, what are the things he's saying?
Yeah, no kidding. This is in public, in front of cameras.
Behind closed doors.
Yeah.
I met him in Vienna. We spoke on at the same conference.
He was a student of Habermas.
Well, I don't know what that proves.
He studied Goethe. I mean, he seems like an intellectual.
Oh, the IQ's there. Same with Thiel, but
that doesn't mean you're morally. That doesn't mean anything about you morally.
Oh, no. I feel like it should. Maybe that's my mistake. All right, let's take a break.
But so just one more thing about so his view on regulation was, yes, regulate us, and then anything you don't regulate, we are free to do.
Yeah,
so
see, that's an issue. We're expecting you to use your good judgment.
No, he says that's your job as a regulator. You tell us what we can't do.
If you don't tell us,
everything else is fine and dandy, and we have no responsibility.
Because you didn't tell us not to.
Exactly.
You didn't tell me not to. That's a teenager's point of view.
That's what he said on stage in Vienna.
That's a teenager. Hey, you didn't tell me not to.
Right.
Well, the whole my enemies need to fear me thing is teenager thinking too. Like, it's all teenager thinking all the way down.
Yeah. If you're not scared of me, I'm not safe. If you don't go to bed scared, if you, your children, your mistresses, your family don't go to bed scared, afraid that I'm going to come and kill you, then I'm not safe.
I don't think we should bring my mistresses into this, but other than that,
Why did he bring that up? That was telling. All right, we're going to take a break. When I saw that, I was like, oh my God.
What brought you to watch it?
It was on Reddit. Somebody, by the way, it's fairly old. He did it. It's a few months ago from the Reagan National Defense Conference. He was talking in front of like-minded individuals. That's why I think he felt free to be so open about it.
At the Reagan Defense Conference.
Yeah. Someday we're going to have a golden dome to match the golden ballroom. It's hard not to cry. All right, I'm going to take a break. I don't want to get political. I know people don't like it when we get political, but I think it's important on an AI show to talk about the people who are in charge of the AI that our government is now buying. They're also being used to decide which regulations to cut, right? They brought in Palantir to go through all the federal regulations. They want to cut half of them, and the AI will pick which half. I guess if it doesn't make people scared, we don't need it. Yeah, he is a very rich nut job. That's the problem with a lot of these guys. They're so rich, they're untouchable.
It's kind of like the old internet adage that the age in which you first find large commercial success is the age at which you stop maturing socially, personally.
Yeah, that might be true. I think these guys stopped maturing a little earlier than that even.
Well,
they started with money, so,
They went to a freshman seminar, and they talk at that level.
They all started with money. It's no doubt that they all started with money.
I don't know if Karp started with money. I don't think so.
Let's look him up.
I don't think he did. I don't know what his history is. Martin from Germany says, and he has some experience with this, if we don't get political, the wrong ones make the politics. Thank you, Martin.
Stimmt, Martin.
Yeah.
Stimmt.
I learned a new German phrase. I don't know how common it is. Was it Martin that taught me this? Oh, what was it? It was Schnachmorer, which means snooze mouse. Or something like that. Something's really boring. It's a Schnachmorer. Have you ever heard that phrase before?
I have not.
Okay. Jason Calacanis weighing in our Discord says he's glad Alex Karp is on our side. Yeah, that's probably true. That's one way to look at it. At least he's not making us scared. Or is he?
It's not Jason Calacanis.
Oh, yeah, that is.
It is?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, hi, Jason.
Jason drops in all the time. Let's take a break because
has Jason have you had Karp on your show, Jason?
Oh, I bet he has. Have you had him on All In?
Got it.
Schnachmorer. You know it, Martin, right? What does that mean? Snooze mouse? Snooze moose?
If you give a snooze a moose.
Give a moose a snooze. Schnachmorer. You can add that, Jeff, to your
my
German
vocabulary.
Snore. Oh, I'm sorry. A morer is a carrot. It's a snore carrot.
That's better.
If you give a snore a carrot.
Schnachmorer. I can't pronounce it right, but now we have a second title after 9 seconds of Google. I don't know. This is gonna be
so. Jason just said that he hasn't had him on, but he will be at the All In Summit.
He's fascinating.
And by the way, Jason, when you say that he's on our side,
who is our when you say our side?
Yeah, he's on their side. He's on my side. Anyway, let's take a break. I'm not on his
side, and I'm scared. So it's working.
It's working. I have to say, sometimes this stuff keeps me up at night, but not last night. Last night.
That's the best ad segue ever, and I just ruined it.
Sorry. Last night, I slept on our sponsor, Helix Sleep, and I slept the sleep of dreams. I am telling you, this is so I did this. Actually, Perplexity told me this. I asked the AI, I said, when is it time to get rid of our mattress? And it said, well, it depends, but 6 to 10 years is sometime in that time frame. I said, oh my gosh, we have an 8-year-old mattress. So I started looking. And I found helixsleep.com. And I am so glad I did. Your mattress is more than just something you sleep on, by the way. I think you know this. We spend more than a third of our life on our mattresses. I mean, my favorite thing is to curl up with a good book. a nice comfy mattress. We got the adjustable one so I can sit up a little bit. It's so nice. Movie nights with your partner. You're just lying back watching a great TV show, or morning cuddles with our kitty Rosie, or just winding down after a long day. Light a candle, put some nice music on. Your mattress is at the center of it all. Really, it's underneath everything, right? But if you have a bad mattress, a saggy mattress, an old mattress, it's not helping you. It's not helping your life. It's not helping your health. Maybe you're waking up in a puddle of sweat, or you've got a achy back from a sag, or you feel every toss and turn your partner makes. A classic mattress nightmare. But that changed with my Helix Sleep. We just got it a couple of weeks ago. No more night sweats, no back pain, no motion transfer. You can get the deep sleep you deserve. One buyer recently reviewed the Helix, and this is, by the way, what sold me. I saw the reviews with 5 stars, saying, I love my Helix mattress. I will never sleep on anything else. I second that emotion. By the way, I recommend it. We got the mattress, and then we got this lovely topper, and it cools you off. It's time and time again, Helix Sleep remains the most awarded mattress brand just this year alone. Wired's best mattress of 2025. Best. Good Housekeeping's Bedding Awards 2025 gave it the award for premium plus size support. That's nice, because I'm not a light guy, so I need a little bit of support there. GQ Sleep Awards 2025 Best Hybrid Mattress. New York Times Wirecutter Award 2025 featured for plus size. Oprah's Daily Sleep Awards for 2025 again, Best Hotel-like Feel. And actually, as silly as that sounds, I can think of, there have been a few hotels like the Raffles in Singapore or the Mandarin in Dubai, where I just go, this is the best bed I've ever slept in. Now I've got that in my home with my Helix Sleep. Go to helixsleep.com/twit. 20% off site-wide during the Labor Day sale early access. helixsleep.com/twit. 20% off, and that's site-wide. The offer ends August 14th. So don't wait. Make sure you enter our show name after checkout, too, because that's important. That way they know we sent you. And if you're listening after the sale ends, August 14th, 2025, be sure to check them out. They've always got something going at helixsleep.com/twit. Do what I did. Read the reviews, then replace your old mattress with something that's guaranteed going to give you the best night's sleep you ever had. helixsleep.com/twit.
So I just started shopping for a mattress, and it is hell to shop for a mattress.
Oh, trust me. I wouldn't tell you. I wouldn't steer you wrong. Well, you know what? Okay, there is a bad thing about the mattress business. First of all, most of the mattress stores in your town are owned by the same company.
Yeah.
There's like all different names, but they're all the same company.
And then across stores, it's the same mattress, but they change it so you can't compare.
Yes.
Even
so you can't go to Consumer Reports and find out.
Because that's a local San Francisco thing, right?
Which one?
Mancini.
That's all no.
Is it all the same? That's not?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know.
It turns out the mattress business is I read a good article about this somewhere. I can't remember. It's a fascinating business. The stores, the storefronts, the brick and mortar stuff, not where you should go to get a mattress. I know people think, well, I should lie on it. But that isn't going to, we've bought the worst mattresses ever because Lisa and I, we went to the store. I thought she wanted a really soft mattress. She thought I wanted a really firm mattress. So I got on a really soft mattress, which I'm not a fan of, to be honest. And I thought this is what she wanted. So I said, yeah, this is great. We got it home 4 years later.
Get along, Leo.
I'm Mr. Get Along. 4 years later, she says, God, I hate this mattress. I said, wait a minute. You said you wanted a soft, she said, this is a terrible mattress. I said, I'm sorry. I thought this is what you wanted. Don't go to the store with your spouse.
So you go together to ChatGPT for marital counseling about mattresses.
We should
fix everything.
Well, what we did with Helix Sleep is they ask you, like, are you a side sleeper, front sleeper? They ask you your style and what you're looking for. And we went through the whole thing, and it really recommended the right one. It was really good.
I've got it open right now.
Yeah, take a look. Okay, so there is, and I think we're going to cover this Thursday on Tech News Weekly. Micah says he wants to cover it. It's a tough one. Cloudflare published a blog post about Perplexity. Now, remember, when we had Cloudflare on, we had John Graham coming on. He's no longer their CTO, but he's on the board. He talked about this new tool they just added, which allows sites to block. See, there is, in theory, this norm in the web called robots.txt, where all crawlers, Google's and everybody else, is supposed to look at it and see if they're allowed. And if they're not, say, okay, I won't crawl your site. And the AI bots are supposed to honor it too, but they don't. So Perplexity stepped up the war and has a much more aggressive no-crawl tool. A blog post at Cloudflare saying Perplexity is using stealth undeclared crawlers to evade our no-crawl directives. When I read this, I was very disappointed. As you know, I'm a Perplexity user and fan, and I thought, geez, they might have to give up on Perplexity.
Not so fast.
Not so fast. Perplexity fired back and said, what are they? This is a complete misunderstanding of how things work. But what Cloudflare did is they set up some dummy sites, set the strongest blocks they could, and then went to Perplexity and said, tell me about this site. Which Perplexity did, just as your browser would do if you asked it to show the site. Cloudflare took this as willfully ignoring their directive not to crawl the site. Perplexity said, we aren't crawling the site. We are not taking information from the site and training on it. We went there because the user said, tell me about this site. They say, and this is their blog, this is fundamentally different from traditional web crawling. We're fetching content when a real person requests something specific, and they use that content immediately to answer the user's question. Perplexity's user-driven agents do not store the information or train with it. So I don't know who's right here. I don't have enough technical information.
So I have things to say.
Yes.
One, that there's nothing to say that Perplexity has to follow someone's robots.txt. It's a courtesy. It's a norm. There's no law.
But it is a norm.
It's a norm. I'll get there. Two, my browser going to a site is my agent going to a site. If you're talking about them training on it, but if I ask Perplexity to do something, it is a newfangled browser doing that. And I think that they're trying to cut off. Three, who died and made whatchamacallit? Who's the company again?
Cloudflare.
Cloudflare, cop to the world. Now, we trust Cloudflare to say, well, we want to get rid of spammers. We want to get rid of Macedonian campaigns, that kind of stuff. But Cloudflare on its own unilaterally just came along and basically declared AI companies evil.
And furthermore, they said that Cloudflare was obfuscating their searches by using something called browser-based. Cloudflare say, yeah, we do use browser-based very occasionally, but Cloudflare's misattributed 3 to 6 million daily requests from browser-based to us. That's not us. We only use it a little bit for specific reasons. They said this is really Cloudflare going for publicity. They also say, even more embarrassing, Cloudflare published a technical diagram supposedly showing, quote, Perplexity's crawling workflow that bears no resemblance to how Perplexity actually works. If Cloudflare were truly interested in understanding the data they were seeing, how our systems work, or these fundamental concepts outlined above, they could have done what we encourage all Perplexity users to do, just ask. So I don't know. This is kind of out beyond my pay grade.
Is Cloudflare using a power that it has unilaterally, which is what bothered me about it.
We've all stood for the right, I think we have, of the right to read, right? That especially if it's just
Paris is making faces at everything I said and everything you're saying. So
okay, Paris, tell us what you think.
I mean, I don't disagree with what you guys are saying. I disagree that we all agree on the right to read as it relates to corporate products. But I mean, it seems like Perplexity's argument here. I think obviously the argument they're making with saying, oh, a lot of the traffic you're noticing is user agents. Yes, that's an important caveat and should be a part of the story. But Perplexity still said, yes, we are like scraping some websites that aren't supposed to be scraped using like by ignoring kind of this robot.txt, but it's only in limited capacity for limited things, and that means it's fine. And I don't know that means it's fine. I think that if people want to complain that Perplexity is violating norms, and Perplexity's argument is, oh, we're only violating the norms occasionally in limited ways, I mean, you're still violating norms.
Well, yeah, I mean, so somebody made the point, and I think it's a good point. This is from a blog by Rob Knight, in which he says the real issue is that Perplexity should respect consent. That if a site says, I don't want you to look at my page, I guess if I had a site and I said, I don't want Google's Chrome to visit my site, and I had some technical means to say, Chrome, you can't, if you're on Chrome, if you're using the Chrome browser, you can't look at my site. Yeah, I guess I should have the right to say that.
Well,
it's kind of antithetical to the idea of an open web.
Exactly. It becomes discriminatory. And what if you said, I want no EDUs to read my site?
Right.
I would, you can do that. It's your right, but I would think you're a schmuck for doing it.
Yes, but I think like you can make a decision that makes you look like a schmuck. And that's okay.
Well, I think Jeff and I are kind of old school.
Because we're old.
Pitching the idea of the open web.
Yes.
Like when you put something on the web.
Okay, wait. The truly open web, though, you're going to.
This.
Let Paris finish.
Go ahead.
I was saying, I think it's incorrect to conflate someone being like, I want you to respect the norm of if I put a robots.txt thing there, to respect the norm of not scraping my website. It's wrong to conflate that sentiment with, screw the open web. The open web shouldn't exist. I think those are two totally different.
So Leo uses Perplexity,
beliefs.
asks it a question, it goes to a website. Should it then come back and say, Leo, I can't do that because this website won't let me?
Yes, that's what ChatGPT does all the time. With me and
so
like
that
New
would
York
very
Times
much
article.
That would very much make Perplexity less useful, because let's say I did that search about my supplements, and one of the best supplement sites, let's say it's WebMD, said, I don't want AI
take them to worse
at my
crap
site
too.
Then all I'm going to get is stuff that isn't good, right?
Right.
Because the good site said, well, but I don't want anybody with an AI. And this is going to become more of an issue because it's not just Perplexity. It's going to be agents. It's going to be MCP. It's going to be...
Perplexity does not have a right to everyone else's websites for free ad nauseum. I think that Perplexity doesn't have a right to be as useful as
Firefox?
possible. Firefox is being operated by people in most cases. And I think as that changes, people are going to try and set different norms
when Leo
for how
asks
they want
for
their
something,
website to be asked.
He's a person asking for something. He asks Perplexity for it, and it goes and gets it. It's not the computer.
It's a different kind of browser.
For it. It's a different browser.
Different kind of browser.
I think website operators disagree. And someone who's decided to create a website, I think, can make decisions about how they want it to be accessed.
They can, but I dislike them for their discriminatory nature. As to
you can dislike them for it, but I don't think that means it's like morally wrong or should be made like illegal.
It's wrong it's wrong to the ethic of the web.
Yeah, I don't think it should be made illegal either. I agree with you.
No, I'm not saying it's illegal, but
I don't think there should be a law about robots.txt. But
either way,
I do think that there is an unwritten norm that says the web is open, and if you put something on the web, people should be able to use whatever browser they want to look at it. And that's what I'm doing with Perplexity. That's the browser I choose to use.
I don't know though. I mean, I think if you put like. Just because you're putting copyrighted material on a website does not mean that it's suddenly the property of everyone in the world.
It does not make it my property. I'm reading it as I would with Firefox or Chrome, or I'm reading it. Does it make my property? How is it my property? If Perplexity was training on it, I would agree. That's a little different because
that's actually the opposite there. I think training is what you have the most right to read and learn.
Right.
Training is transformative and fair use.
Right.
RAG and a direct response is a different question.
I mean, Google would also not be able to do snippets, and so every newspaper in the world would then say, using the same technology, no Googling.
I think
went through this
having no Google snippets would probably be a positive for the world personally, but.
Right.
Well, we went through this with Google and thumbnails, and the thumbnails were wrong. And then we had court cases that said, no, it's for the purpose of search. It's okay. And publishers tried to stop it, and it was good for the publishers realized in the end it was good for them. When the, get ready, Leistungsschutzrecht was passed in Germany, the publishers all agreed and said, okay, Google, you can go ahead and scrape us. Axel Springer said no, and after 15 days they cried uncle and said, no, we want the readers.
Sorry.
That one was cut off.
Yeah, I turned into a robot briefly. So honestly, Paris, there's absolute merit in your thought. This is a complicated issue, and I went back and forth. I read, Cloudflare's blog post. I read Perplexity's blog post. I've read a lot of responses to it back and forth. I'm not sure what the right answer is. It's a very interesting question, but it's more complicated than what Cloudflare said, is I guess the point.
Yes.
And
I think it's more complicated than what Perplexity is saying too.
And it may well be.
Jason Clint of DCN had kind of an interesting take on this in Bluesky, which is he works for a group that represents a lot of media publishers. So of course, he's got his own kind of perspective on all of this that's worth considering. But I did think he commented on the PR aspect of this, that he was like, it's a bad PR move for Perplexity to get all bent out of shape about this. And it especially kind of reflects bad from a public relations perspective on the broader category of agentic AI, because there are the sort of companies that are going to be impacted by Perplexity making kind of big swing moves like this to say, no, it's totally fine if we do this. Perplexity is going to be fine either way. It's going to be the small, agentic AI startups that are just trying to figure out how to do this themselves and actually trying to pay attention to all the complicated morality around this that I think are going to be hit by kind of the downstream effects of.
You see, Paris, I think it's a terrible PR move by Cloudflare. I think Cloudflare is coming along and saying, we're the cop of the web. We're going to decide what can go through and what can't. When people
that
trust
is
them to
Cloudflare's
be
business model.
No, well, yes, but they've now moved the bar a lot. They've said Macedonians and AI are the same.
In their defense, they would say, we're just giving websites tools to express their consent or not. And we don't make the decision. And it's true, they're not making the decision.
Well, Cloudflare because the default is screw you, AI.
Right.
That's a decision.
Well, it's certainly a good conversation. We're going to take a little break. I don't know what the answer is. Micah will be delving into this, and he has my sympathy on Thursday on Tech News Weekly. This is one of the big topics of the week on our other weekly news show that we do every Thursday with Micah Sargent and a rotating panel of co-hosts. You're watching Intelligent Machines with a very intelligent pair of people. Paris Martineau, now investigative reporter at Consumer Reports. I guess you're a journalist, because if it were a reporter, it'd be too redundant to be a reporter.
I think technically my title is senior investigative reporter at Consumer Reports, but I agree repeating the word report and reporter within 2 words of it sounds ridiculous, so I changed it to journalist for this purpose.
You've joined the Department of Redundancy Department. Also, Mr. Jeff Jarvis, who is
out of focus. I can get this fixed.
Out of focus. No, he is now running a program at Montclair State University.
No, I'm actually not running anything there. I'm helping them out, but I'm
consulting.
Yeah,
are you running a program at
I'm helping start programs at Stony Brook.
Nice, very nice. This is Intelligent Machines. We do the show every Wednesday right after Windows Weekly, 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern, 2100 UTC. You can watch the show live on 8 different streams if you're a club member in the Club Twit Discord. There's also YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, Facebook, LinkedIn, X.com, and Kick. Wow. Every week we start the show. This was kind of part of the new format with an interview. We're not sure who we've got next week, but we're working on it. We may have, actually, we do have a pre-recorded interview. Maybe we should use that for next week.
I think it's time.
Tulsi Doshi is in charge of Google's models. And she will be our guest. Let's do it next week, unless somebody else shows up. We recorded it already, so I think we need to use it because it was recorded last week. So Tulsi, let's say that. Tulsi Doshi next week from Google, talking about Google models on intelligent machines. We're really doing our best to get interesting, smart people on the show to talk about AI. Because you know what? As you can see from this conversation, it's not clear. It's not clear. This is a brave new world we're part of. On with the show we go.
As a lava lamp owner, I will always come to Cloudflare's defense.
They use lava lamps to generate random numbers. By the way, Jason Snell had a very good tip for lava lamp owners yesterday on MacBreak Weekly.
Drink the juice.
Don't drink the juice. That's tip number one.
Pop that open.
Do not. Although it does have a bottle cap on it.
It does.
Kind of tempting.
In case of emergency.
What's in there? Is it water or oil or?
Delicious goodness.
With
I think
wax.
it's like a wax and some.
But sometimes the wax
liquid.
balls, his wax balls got all, the blobs got all messed up into little balls. And he thought it's ruined. He found that if you put it in a sous vide at a low temperature for several hours, I don't know how it works. They coalesce, they congeal back into the large wax balls that you love so much.
There is also a lava lamp fan and appreciator web for like old school style web forum that I've previously plugged on this very podcast in my pick of the week. You can check the archives. And in that, there is one dude who's like the #1 guy in the US that makes new lava lamp fluid, basically, for anyone who wants it. And he specifically sells these little packs that if your lava lamp fluid is really messed up and the sous vide trick doesn't work, you can like essentially in the same way that if your hot tub or pool is messed up, you can kind of shock it. You can kind of shock the lava lamp fluid with whatever he's got, and it sets it right.
Wow.
So
lava lamp therapy.
Nice. Big story in the Tesla world. There was a trial, an accident in 2019, a fatal crash in Florida. Guy driving Tesla under full self-driving, he was using Autopilot, dropped his cell phone. Assuming, I guess, that the Autopilot would continue to navigate safely, he reached down to get the cell phone. But unfortunately, the car continued through an intersection, plowed into a parked vehicle, and sadly spun the parked vehicle and killed a pedestrian, seriously injured the pedestrian's companion. The dead pedestrian's family sued Tesla, and a jury verdict last week awarded them, I've seen different figures, at least $200 million. What's important about this verdict, first of all, almost always in cases like this, the lawsuit comes from the driver or the driver's family, and Tesla usually is able to settle before it goes to court. In this case, it wasn't the driver that sued. It was the dead pedestrian's family that sued. So that was a big difference. Tesla was unable to settle out of court.
They settled with the driver, but not with the pedestrian family.
And the jury's verdict was interesting because it did assign 2/3 of the fault to the driver, 1/3 of the fault to Tesla, because Tesla encouraged the driver to trust full self-driving and made no effort to make sure that the driver was, in fact, paying attention, keeping the hands on the wheel.
Which would tell me that the driver should be able to sue Tesla as well. But
well, I don't know what'll happen. There may well be an appeal, so it may not be over. However, the driver said, I trusted the technology too much. I believed that if the car saw something in front of it, it would provide a warning and apply the brakes. This didn't happen. He hit the parked car at more than 60 miles an hour. It's a terrible, terrible accident. And, Elon will probably say, yeah, but look, the driver's fine. It's a very safe car. The bad news for Tesla, besides the lawsuit, is it did assign, it's the first time, by the way, as far as I know, in a court case that the responsibility was assigned to Tesla for this accident. Furthermore, and maybe more shamefully, Tesla, now that we've seen the transcript, did a lot to deny, obfuscate, and even cover up what really happened. For instance, all Teslas are recording at all times. They have, in effect, a black box. Tesla immediately downloaded the recorded information from that car. However, when asked by the plaintiff's attorneys for that information, said, no, it's gone. We erased it. We don't have it. They did have it.
Wow.
So they really did everything they could to cover up what really happened. The plaintiff's attorney did learn, in fact, that information still existed. Tesla said that today's verdict is wrong and it only works to set back automotive safety, jeopardize Tesla's and the entire industry's efforts to develop and implement life-saving technology. The plaintiffs concocted a story blaming the car when the driver from day one admitted and accepted responsibility. $243 million Tesla owes the family. It will appeal.
Tesla gave Elon big bucks to stick around.
Well, they have the money. They just gave him, what was it, billion? I'm sorry.
Yeah, $1 billion.
$1 billion.
And still, every day I see Elon on Twitter being like, hey, it works. Full self-driving is here. Hey.
Just today.
Yeah.
He said,
like, why
these
is
cars
that
drive
okay?
themselves.
How is that okay?
It should be, if anything should be regulated in this world, for God's sakes, it should be that.
Yeah. So, I think really more.
What did you say, Paris? Your mic was low.
Oh, I was just saying it's just a very sad story.
Yes.
Yeah, it's very sad for the family, obviously. It's, I think, not acceptable that Tesla actively obstructed the case. There are now at least 15 other active cases focused on similar claims involving Tesla accidents with Autopilot. 3 of those have been moved to federal court. I think this judgment perhaps, and I asked our car guy, Sam Abul-Samad, on Friday about this, or Saturday, we went to dinner, and he said, yeah, this is a break in the dike. This is, just get ready. There will be a lot more because of this. But I have to say, Tesla makes a point. We do think, don't we, that it is safer to have these cars drive than humans.
It depends on the technology, not with only what Tesla has. No,
humans cause massive deaths and accidents every day. 50,000 people, Americans, die every year.
This is my same argument that I make with the right to read. Yes, humans cause a lot of accidents, and that's terrible. But humans have rights, and just because something's terrible, we can't be like, all humans cannot drive. I mean, perhaps that would be an interesting policy solution to address the problem of fatal accidents on the road, but it's completely non-tenable given the way our society is organized. What does not have those rights are Tesla vehicles and cars generally. And so it's going to be a bit more of a complicated discussion to get those vehicles to a place where they have rights on the same level as human, as it should be. And I think the same goes for these AI systems.
Well, here's one area that we can agree.
Okay.
Airlines, including Delta, are testing AI pricing.
Boo.
In a way that no human can understand. This is a Bloomberg story that says, get ready for what one startup calls the exploitation phase.
I'm shocked that this is a story because I feel like they've already been doing this for a while, and it's only going to be getting worse.
They've been using, very sophisticated pricing algorithms. For instance, frequent flyer, this is from the Bloomberg story, frequent flyers and consumer rights advocates often complain about the convoluted nature of airline ticket prices. Discount tickets can quickly become expensive through the use of drip pricing, extra fees for once free amenities, and a dizzying array of fare classes with dynamic prices that shift over time, or even to know whether the price you're offered today, and everybody who's booked a plane knows this, is better or worse than the one you'll be offered tomorrow. Who knows?
It's a prison business model. It's the same as your phone, same as your cable company, and the airline.
You got no choice.
So many ways to get there, and this should be regulated.
So this is a paper authored by the co-founder and chief AI officer of a company called Fletcher, with 2 R's. It's an Israeli-based software startup that works with Delta and several other carriers. In the paper, The founder describes a pilot artificial intelligence program that Fletcher created for an unspecified partner airline. He describes taking a relatively simple pricing structure and replacing it with a head-spinningly complex one featuring many more fare classes with prices that swing wildly from one moment to the next.
So he's bragging about this.
Yes. Such pricing structures, he says, are so complex they, quote, go beyond human cognitive limits.
Great.
You might say, though, that this is how Bitcoin is priced, right? I mean, it's not with AI, but...
We're all talking about how Bitcoin should be the model for everything.
The stock market kind of works like this, right? It's up and down and up and down.
Hey, Amazon is like this already.
Amazon does all kinds of interesting pricing. I remember years ago, a friend of mine who sold, I think it was an air purifier on Amazon that he branded. He was a radio talk show host, and he would put it on Amazon, and then the bots would come, see what his price was, buy it. I guess he might have been white labeling something from China. So get something to get the same product.
So a DJ had a branded air purifier?
Yeah. It's a long story.
Leo, you're missing things here. You should be selling.
Oh, man, I am missing out on all this stuff.
Oh, God.
You got to put your face on like a dishwasher.
I should be making sandwiches in New York City for crying out loud. By the way, that's a terrible business. Poor Hank.
I will say, I took a brief dive into the Reddit forum, searching Salt Hank's name, and deep in never tell Hank this. Deep in the comments, a couple people are being like, "Well, you know, his dad is a famous tech podcaster, Leo Laporte, so he's basically like a sandwich nepo baby." And I'm like,
"Oh no, it's not true."
I was like, "How do you think that your father being a tech podcaster helps you in any way sell sandwiches in New York City?"
In fact, he never even used my name. He never called himself.
He's not. I only bring this up because it was like 2 downvoted comments in the dead subreddit. And I just thought it was so silly.
You also saw
found something wonderful.
A young woman in the teenager subreddit saying, "Is he married?
Does he have a girlfriend? Is he single?"
He's single, ladies.
You also found one. Tell about the other one you found.
Oh, I mean, so this all came up because I texted the boys group chat being like, "Hey, like this came across I'm in the Food NYC subreddit, and they're all kind of persnickety about stuff. And one thing they've been a little persnickety about since launch is Salt Hank sandwich thing." Initially, because they were like, "Oh, $28 sandwich, no way it could be good." But little by little, slowly, surely, I keep seeing posts crop up that are like, "I went to Salt Hank's expecting to hate it because the sandwich is so expensive and it's the best thing I've ever eaten. And I think it's actually really worth the money. And I take back all of my gripes." And I was like,
filled me up for the day.
They filled me up for the day. I had half the sandwich and it was so filling. And then I'm going to have the rest tomorrow. And it's the best. I drank the juice.
Hank says he really bugs him because every review says the same thing. "God, this is the best sandwich I ever had." It seems to be universal. Best sandwich I ever had. It's so expensive. He says they're always casting shade. He said, "Let's look at it. If I could make it cheaper, I would. If we made it $1 cheaper, we'd lose money."
Yeah.
It is as inexpensive as it can be. He was so happy one day he made $300. I told you, he sold a couple of days ago $11,000 worth of sandwiches in 5 hours. But they're practically at cost.
The roast beef is expensive.
The roast beef is
bread is special bread.
He's using the best roast beef from
he's learning firsthand like why enshittification happens.
Well, he told me this. He said no restaurant makes money on the food. They make money on the bar. I said, "Yeah, but you're just selling soda and limeade." He said, we're going for a beer and wine license. As soon as we get that, we'll be fine. That's where the profit is. So he's never going to make it on the sandwich because he knows he can't make it a $30 sandwich. I mean, he's as inexpensive as he can make it.
And also, it's very common in New York for sandwiches to be $20.
I know.
28 is not that different.
He's part of Big Sandwich. It's
also a giant, it's a big sandwich.
Yeah.
I'm dying to have one. I'm dying to have one.
You could feed a family of 4 on that sandwich.
We've got to go at some point, Jeff. You've got to just go wait in the line.
I told you
I've never had it.
I'm going out to lunch with Craig tomorrow. Craig, Newmark. And I would take him to Salt Hank, but there's no way we're going to get in.
Can't get in.
No.
So you're going to go to Hamburger America, which frankly,
I need to go to Hamburger America too.
If I come visit you guys, I'm going to have to.
We're doing both
for 2 days, so I can.
Yes,
have lunch
exactly.
Twice.
But I don't think you can have lunch and dinner.
I don't think I can do both.
You'll have beef sweats like you've never had.
Yeah. In fact,
we should add a third day and then go to Cote, the Korean steakhouse, just so we have 3 days of meat sweats.
Well, I want to go to what's his name, the famous guy's. Who is it? The cheesesteak. Because I'm a major cheesesteak fan.
Oh yeah, that was in the New York Times.
Same rundown. Yeah. I want
All right,
to go there.
do a week and
It's
we'll do
Coops.
Meat Week, Leo,
Meat Week.
where we
Meat
have
Week.
Meat Week.
All right, I just want everybody to know we're pivoting this show. No more AI, no more intelligent
No.
machines.
It's meat.
It's just meat, all the time. We're going to call it This Week in Meat, and it's going to be amazing.
There was until recently a German magazine that was just called Beef.
I thought you were going to say Schwein.
Sausage.
Sausage.
A little different.
Diversed. Okay, I would hate to change
AI
the subject, but this is an appalling story. CNN interviewed an AI version.
No, he's not on CNN anymore.
Oh,
Jim Acosta.
No.
Where is Jim
a
Acosta?
lone wolf Jim Acosta.
Oh, is
Jim
he doing his
Acosta
own
publishing to Substack.com, I believe.
Oh, is he
or
a
something
podcaster?
Substack
Oh,
adjacent.
because he was.
Substack.
They forced him out because guess who doesn't like him?
Yeah. No, that's right. I forgot. That's right. So on the Jim Acosta show, Jim interviewed an AI that was created by the parents of
By
a
the
son.
parents, though. That's an important factor here.
I know, but that doesn't.
I know, but
It's kind of creepy. Did you watch it? I haven't
No.
seen it.
So we need to tell them what we're talking about. It is a AI version of a kid that was killed in an act of gun violence. And this
I'm sorry. This is
AI
just a Texas representative. It looks like he's AI, but it's not him.
No, that's totally
Oh, I was talking about a different thing.
No. I know.
He
That
had the
wasn't.
wrong
This is
video.
it. It was the same story.
Yeah.
I mean, the same show. So the parents created an AI of their son who was killed in Parkland.
Yes. So it was a AI generated avatar of their son, of their deceased son, that was made clearly from kind of like one static image. It wasn't,
This is the father talking right now. Did he actually interview the son?
He did
Oh, yes.
interview the AI copy of the son.
It's kind of creepy. What do you think? I mean, I understand why the parents might do it.
If it had been done without the parents, I would hate it. But the fact that the parents did it makes me say they're trying to keep this story alive.
The comments on his Substack are pretty positive.
I'm posting the link to part
It
of the
said, this was a hard watch,
Paris, what
and I admit to being skeptical about using AI in this way. This is Jenny E. commenting, but this is clearly an expression of love from the father towards his beautiful son. It was the first time I heard Joaquin, and I could feel the vibrancy and kindness in his voice.
Oof.
Oh, such a tragedy.
It's heartbreaking no matter what.
It's heartbreaking.
But I think
Joaquin
the response here was reflexive. It was the same one I think we all had. But upon reflection,
yeah, maybe it's not so bad. I see often on the AI subreddits people talking about. I saw one guy said, I lost my dad a few years ago. I took all of the emails that he sent to me and had AI generate a new email to me, and it reconnected me, and it was very moving. There are interesting uses of this. I know it sounds like Black Mirror, but
I don't want to knock
part of the human experience, though, right?
parents
We got
of-
it.
let Paris finish.
I don't want to knock parents who are going to be in the process of grieving for the rest of their lives for doing anything. I think
Right.
that obviously you can use an AI tool like this in any way you want personally. I do think from a news judgment perspective, I'll criticize a bit of Jim Acosta in this case, because I think that seems like the most reasonable way to...
sensationalistic.
It's a little sensationalist.
Yeah.
And if you, as a journalist and news gatherer or blogger, whatever you want to call him, want to draw... The purpose of this interview was to draw attention to the problem of school shootings and the issue of gun control. Right. And I think if you want to do that, there are a lot of living survivors of school shootings or living people who are experts on this topic, either through personal experience, academic experience, or otherwise, that could have been a better subject for an interview, but they obviously, I guess, wouldn't have been as sensational as look at the AI deceased teenager, which I don't know,
you were
makes me feel a bit.
I was just saying, like, this is a fundamental part of the human experience, is it not? I mean, come on, like, grieving for a loved one is grieving for a loved one who's died. Like, this is just like a fundamental thing that every human is going to go through.
I always hate it when they put these on the news channels, though. I just CNN does this an awful lot, where they, really kind of tearjerker. They show pictures and they talk to the parents.
Mass media, man.
I understand the need for ratings, but it feels a little bit.
So line 113.
I was going to end the show, but if you want to keep going,
what do you think about? Let's end it on a morbid topic. Yeah, well, let's keep going. Death.
Okay, the rise of AI tools that write about you when you die. Well, is this any worse than the reverend who talks to the family 10 minutes before he has to eulogize somebody that he never met, gets a couple of notes and does a eulogy? Is this any worse than that? That happens all the time, right?
No, because we're talking about obituary, like written, published obituaries that, at least in the case of someone like perhaps a reverend, someone involved in the funeral poem, perhaps someone who knew the person who died, if those people are the one writing the obituary, they're probably at least going to be accurate, or if not, they'll have some sort of kind of human reason as to why, or a person that you can come back to and be like, hey, actually my dead wife didn't like dogs and spend her time volunteering at the animal shelter. But in this case, you're having basically AI tools that are generating thousands of obituaries every single year, and they're obviously going to get stuff wrong.
The example, though, that they start with, which is, I think, a telling example, is somebody who lost somebody and who wrote a prompt, just kind of emptied their heart into the prompt, just kept writing. It's not a coherent obituary, but it's all our feelings and all of that. And then the AI generated a coherent obituary out of that. I think that's a good use. We're seeing this, incidentally, more and more. I see it on Reddit all the time, where somebody posts, my mom sent me this message about my divorce. Did an AI write this? And almost always you can say, yeah, I think that's your mom used an AI. Is that a bad thing?
For the obituaries,
I think so.
The obituaries thing, I don't think isn't that bad, because there are a lot of people out there who die who no one will write an obituary for.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And not everybody's a writer like you are, Paris, or like you are, Jeff. And so maybe they have a hard time expressing themselves.
Would you want to write, if you knew the date, would you want to write your own obit?
No.
No.
It's not for me to say. Yeah.
This is also
it's for others to say how wonderful I was, what a great listener, what a charming and intelligent soul. It's for everybody else to say that, not for me.
This is also how I feel about, I have no preference as to what happens to me after I die, because that's not for me, that's for other people.
Yeah, I agree. I'm very wise. You're wise for your years.
She is indeed.
That's true.
She just wants to get out of, putting together the funeral program. Yeah. That's on you. I don't care. I'll be dead. We have a relative who is on death's door and has been for years. And she has very elaborate plans. And even gave me pictures so I could make a song, so I could make a moving video tribute to her for her funeral, which I did. It was nice. It was very sweet. I think it's, for some people, it's kind of a comfort to know that,
Well, some people think they're going to be able to watch their own funeral.
They ain't going to be able to watch it.
Yeah, but maybe that's what some people think.
Yeah. I don't think she thinks that. Maybe she does. I don't know.
No, but
there is a new Catholic AI app that promises answers for the faithful.
Oh, gosh.
It's actually an LLM based on 27,000 church documents. I wonder if Father Robert had anything to do with this.
I was just thinking that, yeah.
Yeah. Magisterium.ai. ChatGPT for Catholicism. The company behind it, Longbeard, claims up to 100,000 monthly users and proclaims its mission on its homepage in a huge font we're building Catholic AI. I got to ask Robert about this.
Yeah, I think the Pope would have something to say about that, right?
But what?
Is it official?
But what?
Is it official?
Today is, no, I'm sure it's not. It looks, by the way, just like ChatGPT. Here it is. I'm showing it on the screen. You wouldn't know. So today is the Feast of the Transfiguration of the Lord. How can I help you today? Let me a reading for today's Mass. Right. So this is obviously for priests who don't want to have to come up with their homily. Here you go. Here's a reading. Here's a responsorial psalm. Here's the second reading. Look at this. Look at that. I could be a minister.
Well, the readings are scheduled, aren't they?
I think so. Oh, your sister's a minister. She would know.
Yeah. So there's I forget what you call it, but there's
a calendar.
The lectionary.
Yeah.
Somebody in the chat room is holier than I am. They'll know.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. That makes it easy, isn't it? The world's #1 answer engine for the Catholic Church. That's how they...
I'd assume the world's #1 answer engine for the Catholic Church is God, but maybe this is #2.
Well, and you can ask in prayer, but if you didn't have that option, you could go to Magisterium.
The AI boys think they're building God, Paris. So.
Here's a holy widget. One of the holy widgets.
Wow. We've got a lot of really good contenders for show titles.
This holy widget is a confession guide. So here's what you should think about. Try to recall all your sins. You can use the below examination of conscience to help with this. Did you give God time every day to pray? Did you seek to love him with your whole heart? Here's the prayer. Then inside the confessional, here's what you should say. Here's what you should do. Here's the act of contrition. Nice.
So who needs to go to the confessional? It's done.
You got a holy widget. Does the whole thing for you.
Can I send my agent? Widgets. Can I send my agent to confession for me?
Yeah. Send ChatGPT and
my agent's been very bad.
Actually, you know what?
My agent is Perplexity. It has sins to confess.
This is actually pretty good because there is a lot of ritual. There's a lot of text. There's a lot of information. And you might have forgotten, the Apostles' Creed, but if you needed it, you could go here, and it's the Apostles' Creed.
Especially for a liturgical faith.
But this is an oral tradition, though. You should be getting that information from your priest or from another person.
Oh, but who can remember? Do you remember who the saints for today are?
Well, if you're a real Catholic, you're studying this stuff
knows.
On Sunday. So if you're a real
Saint
Catholic.
Sixtus, Saints Justus and Pastor, Saints Hormisdas, Blessed Octavian, Blessed Shekelin was a hermit.
Sounds like Shecky Green.
Feast of the Transfiguration.
You could ask my mom.
I don't want to be sacrilegious, but this is, I think, in its nature, sacrilegious. So there you go. AI, is there anything it can't do?
Taste
food?
Taste anything.
Taste anything?
Yeah, taste. It can't taste
smell?
non-food either.
But you could build an AI that could be attached to a very highly sensitive chemical analysis tool.
This goes back to the perception question. Does green to me the same as green to you? Is the same as green to an AI?
I can only tell you, what photons are hitting my retinas.
Can AI taste this spindrift? And if it does, will it taste the same to the AI as it does to me?
But I can tell you something AI can do.
It will say, that's pretty bland. Can't you just get something with a little more flavor?
They'd say, this is the perfect seltzer.
It can create bunnies on a trampoline.
Oh, did you guys get got with this?
You thought this was real?
Okay, there was a brief moment where I did think there were bunnies on a trampoline. Yes. And then I looked at the comments and I was
like, if you can't trust this, what can you trust? It's a whole genre of animals bouncing on trampolines, and it's great.
I think this is so good.
Looked like they were having a fun time.
I'm just sad that it's so short. It should go on.
There's also kangaroos on a trampoline. More.
No, really?
Yep.
I can imagine. So the person who posted this, who's Rachel the Cat Lovers, which is a little weird, because it should be the cat lover.
Guys, the rabbits are real.
We're gonna get taken down.
They are not real, Rachel. She says, just check the home security cam. You won't believe what I saw. It is kind of believable, isn't it?
It is.
The only thing
like
that's
the bunnies
weird
are having
is
a fun time.
they're around the rim of the trampoline. They get on it and they start to bounce. But you know something's weird when they stay there and you keep bouncing. Like, oh, hey, this is fun. She was smart to cut it off because that makes you feel like it's more real.
I just put up deer on the trampoline.
Is it real?
I don't know. It's in. I can't. Who's to know what's real now?
It has to be fake.
In the chat, I put it.
We don't know anymore, do we? We no longer know. What a world we live in. Aren't we excited? Aren't we happy? Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a break right now to think about our blessings.
Thistle delivery, and then I'm going to do an unboxing.
What?
Okay, folks, I got the ultimate here. Wait. We have elephant on trampoline.
That's a deer, but that's a really good one.
The deer starts bouncing and then wipes out.
So go to the one I just put
All
up.
right, this is from the AI mystery. Elephant on a trampoline.
Collapses.
I do really like that.
I'm just saying, I don't care if it's AI or not. It gave me joy. It gave me joy. And incidentally, that is a perfect example of a human being who could never create that video, writing a text prompt and using AI to create a hysterical video. He had the creative idea, the impulse, and made it happen with AI. It's just a tool. That's a great use of it.
Sure, it made you chuckle for 2 seconds and you'll forget about it for the rest of your life.
Which is okay. What's wrong with that?
Nothing.
You think Henny Youngman made me laugh for
I'm
longer
not saying
than
that anything's wrong with that. I'm just not going to aggrandize it as much as you are.
Yeah. It made a funny video.
It's a creative
It's cool, but it's not the greatest thing ever.
No, I'm just saying it's a creative tool.
Neither is Saturday Night Live, but if
and
it's
should
shorter
have
once in a while.
all the rights that people have, and
you know,
then
you're
some
sounding
more.
grumpier than ever.
Yeah, he
now.
is.
You're turning into a curmudgeon way before your
He's got to
years.
balance.
Oh, he's been one.
He's got to balance out this podcast.
Hey, I actually used AI this week, so, good for me.
What did you do?
Tell?
I just used Notebook LM to learn a new language, a new audio. There's like this deep audio program that's like it's called Pure Data, and it's really hard to learn, and I'm using Notebook LM to learn it.
Yeah, to teach you.
Yeah.
Are you not impressed and blown away with what a great tool?
It's
We
cool.
didn't have that.
It's cool, yeah, it's cool.
Yeah,
but it's
we
not
got
like
great tools.
mind-blowing. It's like, yeah, that's cool.
Well, we can also make you pay a lot more for that trip to the Philippines you're going on. Just go to Delta Airlines and see what price you're going to get.
Oh, Delta, yikes.
I don't think Delta goes to the Philippines. All right, we are going to now take a break and thank you all for being here and invite you to join Club Twit for ad-free versions of everything we do. Special events coming up this week, Stacy's Book Club, Friday, 1 p.m. Pacific. Right after that, Chris Marquardt's monthly photo show. It's going to be a lot of fun. We answer your questions. We take a look at your photos and we give you a new assignment as we do every month. We've got other things coming up, including the Google Pixel 10 announcement. We're going to do that in the club. All the keynotes now are club only to avoid being taken down. I think for $10 a month, you're getting some real value. But the most important thing is you're supporting what we do. If you enjoy the content we create, content isn't free. We've been ad supported for a long time, and that was fine. But ads no longer cover the entire cost. And we have cut way back. We shut down the studio. We canceled shows. We had to lay people off. And still, we operate at a deficit. Fortunately, the club covers that 25% that the advertising doesn't cover. 25% of our operating costs. Thank you, club members. And if you're not a member and you'd like to join, or at least take the 2-week trial and see if you like it, twit.tv/clubtwit. We really appreciate our club members. Thank you. You make a huge difference. Now it's time for the picks of the week. And we always start with Paris Martin. No, Paris?
She is away.
Oh. Maybe Jeff Jarvis.
Well, while we're waiting, I made a pick for you, Leo. Line 129, Leo bait.
I love it when you do Leo bait.
Crazy.
I love it when you do that.
Did you find
My problem is the numbers are so tiny.
129.
AI vegans?
AI vegans. This will drive you nuts.
Oh, these are people that, and we know some of them, who abstain from AI for environmental, ethical, and personal reasons.
I think that's completely fine.
She doesn't look happy. Yeah, if you don't want to use it, please.
Shouldn't she be happy now because she's off of AI?
Her brow is furrowed.
She's very unhappy.
Yeah.
She looks like she was made by AI, by the way.
It does, but it says it's a photograph, so it's from Getty, so it's a stock photo.
If you can't trust the rabbits on the trampoline, what can you trust?
AI vegans.
See, this is the thing. This is the thing that I'm actually against: is being extreme on either side of this thing.
Yes, yeah.
Being like AI is the best thing in the world, or AI is so useless you should never use it. Both of those positions are completely wrong.
It's fair. You know what? I could see. There's people who say you shouldn't use a computer, you shouldn't use the internet, you shouldn't use smartphones. That's fine if that's what your choice is. You probably have a happier life, to be honest.
No.
1920, Einstein. Time is relative. 2025, Delta Airlines. Prices are relative. Thank you, Martin Sassenberg, in our YouTube chat. Paris, your pick of the week, and it better not be that soda you're popping.
My pick of the week I just got from outside.
Oh,
well, I've got a couple things. One,
it came. The thistle's here.
This is I'm just a lowly Thistle user who has used this product exactly for 1 week. Maybe
this is not a Thistle ad.
It's not a Thistle ad. In no way it's sponsored. I literally just.
We have had a number of food box.
So it's like a kind of prepared meal service. That
so you don't prepare it.
No, you don't prepare it. It's so.
These look good.
They're really good so far. This one's a thistle pad thai with sesame ground chicken. You prepare it by heating it in a skillet with the sauce for 3 to 5 minutes. Their main thing is they do like little dinners, and they do like kind of fun salads for lunch, and they all come like freshly made.
Peanut butter bar that looked really good today?
I did not, but I got a affogato smoothie with biscotti crumble.
Now, do you have to go every once in a while and say, this is what I want next week? Like, do you have to?
You can just have it set up, put like what you want, like 1 or 2 breakfasts, 2 lunches, a dinner, a snack, or whatever, and set it and forget it, and they'll pick stuff automatically from their menu. But I am kind of a picky person.
Ooh,
so
we can have plant-based only.
You can have plant-based only. You can do meat. So I
meat only.
Twice
what is a meat? A mix of plant and meat.
As far as the protein goes, you can do plant-based protein or meat.
Oh, I see.
And so I just go through, like I just did it before the show for my Sunday.
I want to do this.
And if you're going to do it, use my referral code.
Oh, yeah?
This is not an ad, but as a lowly user, I do get a referral code, and you can get $120 off your first week or something with my discount code, which is at line 163 in the chat. And, I used a friend of mine, like a skee-ball friend, for mine. And so far it's been pretty good. I mean, I was literally talking to some friends today. I was like, this is really delicious. I enjoy it. Maybe the unit economics won't work out for me in the long term.
How much is it?
It depends. Like if you get more, it's stuff, it's less, but it's like $15 a thing, or like it could be like 13 or 10 or 18.
So I just picked the default, and it was $257 for 6 days. So 18 meals total, including snacks. I think I could get by with less if I shopped and cooked, but
yeah. I mean, and I think you also don't I'm not getting it for every single meal. I'm getting like a couple a week, but I'm kind of busy right now. I just started a new job that I'm really enjoying, but it's just nice to not have to deal with cooking. And I find these really
it's good.
delicious.
Does it taste good? It does taste good.
It tastes really good. Like I've done Cook Unity. I thought about trying Factor and things like that. And I just felt like some of the frozen ones just feel too much like I'm eating a lean cuisine. And I just really like that this is, I don't know.
Did Consumer Reports rate these various services?
I have no idea. And this is in no way related to my job, nor is it a reflection of anything relating to consumer
Yes, to be clear.
To be very specific.
Well, I have to ask the boss if she
want to be part of that
team.
but that would. I want to be part of the team that would rate these things. I think that'd be a good job.
The testing team has got to have the best, most interesting life ever. We will sometimes do. I've learned the company sometimes does auctions within the company itself of the tested products.
We don't need this Chevy Malibu anymore.
They actually apparently do auction cars. They're not doing that because they buy them. But quite a few. I mean, because Consumer Reports is really ethical about everything. They buy everything full price with secret
I did the same thing. We called it Leo's Garage Sale. I'd take all the crap that I bought and put it in the conference room, and people would fight over it. Actually, I
don't know, but I've really just been enjoying it so far.
It looks good. Yeah.
If do it, I think they're available West Coast, East Coast, Atlanta, Chicago, maybe one other area I'm forgetting.
Thistle.co. They do it in my town, apparently.
Oh.
I gave them my zip, and they said, sure.
Yeah, I feel like they probably do it over there. It's so far been really good. I would recommend, though, if you're kind of picky about food, to actually go through the menu and you can select what you like and what you don't like. I've realized I don't really like the smoothies that much, nor do I need the breakfast, but yeah, it's been good. My non-SpawnCon seeming, though it isn't actually SpawnCon, pick is two things related to Bluesky, though. One is I've been kind of annoyed that Bluesky doesn't have bookmarks, and some of the folks from Bluesky had posted that there's a featured feed where you can comment a pin emoji on someone's post, and then it puts it in a thing. And I hate that because I don't want anybody to know what I'm bookmarking. But I found in the replies for Bluesky's post about this that there is now a labeler run by some Bluesky user called Bookmark, it's bookmarks.bluecanary.dev. It uses the custom moderation feature of Bluesky, and so I set up, and it's perfect. I mean, it would be better if Bookmarks actually worked on the site, but it's a perfect kind of band-aid. So all you do is, if there's a post you want to bookmark, you subscribe to this labeler, and then you just highlight a post, you go and you click you're going to report it, to Bluesky moderation services. But Bluesky moderation services is just one of many moderation services you can use. And so one of them is this Bookmarks app. So you just report it for other or whatever, and to Bookmarks, and it goes in your Bookmarks feed.
I hope the Bluesky doesn't judge that as if you are reported.
No. I mean, because moderation feeds in Bluesky and labelers can exist for a bunch of different reasons.
Okay, good.
So let me bookmark your post about your
Did you
new
subscribe
job. So I'm going to go
labeler?
here. Oh, I have to subscribe. I'm going to report the post.
No. So you need to go back to the original link I sent, and you have to subscribe.
Yeah, don't report her.
Okay.
Go to that post.
And I gotta go to this Bookmarks.
So click up the top.
I see. Subscribe to labeler.
So it's like you're just following something. Yeah, you just.
that was easy.
So then go to my post again, like we were doing before.
Okay, how do I do that? Let's see, Paris. Search for it again. And then I'm going to go here. Now I'm going to report you. Lady.
Report me. I just click other usually. Click other.
Other? Oh.
Bookmarks. So not moderation services.
That's the one you don't want.
Yeah. And bookmarks. And so you can just click submit report. That's all. You don't have to do any details.
Never surrender.
Always fight.
Never forget.
That's great.
Submit report.
And so then if you go to your feeds on Bluesky, there'll be a
there's a new one called Bookmarks?
Yes.
All right, where is it?
Where are your do you have to
These are my feeds.
I guess so. Go to discover, scroll down.
Discover new feeds?
Just
and search
type
for
in
bookmarks.
Bookmarks. Maybe that's what you have to do. Maybe there's 2 steps.
They cache a lot at Bluesky, so you might have to.
This one?
Which one is the one that you just?
There's a lot of them.
Bookmarks.bluecanary.dev.
I
don't think I had to do this, so maybe.
So this one you could DM to somebody. This one.
I would just refresh the page because it might come up.
just refresh the page. It might be that.
I have to do that fairly often.
Now you're seeing all my bookmarks.
I guess just type bookmarks.bluecanary. This is odd. Well, hopefully this doesn't happen to you, dear listener, because this didn't happen to me, honestly.
Well, it's probably just thinking.
Or it might be different on phone, on the app, than on the web. It might take a while for the web to populate.
It's just thinking. I'm sure it's just thinking. That's a good tip.
Yeah, I really like it.
So now you have a new feed that is just stuff you've bookmarked.
Yeah, and it's great because
that's a good idea.
Otherwise, I've just been sending DMs to my other Bluesky account, which is just parismartineau.bluesky.whatever, so that no one else can squat in my name since I have a custom domain.
Wait, is it one of the tabs at the top? Is there a new one up there?
I mean,
those don't scroll. Those don't scroll. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
it hasn't showed up yet. It will. It will.
You'll get there.
It'll get there. Jeff Jarvis, your pick of the week.
All right. Since we can't trust bouncing bunnies, I'm going to do another animal story. Good guy humpback whales. This comes from Science.
Okay. Good guy humps back whales.
So humpback whales. So humpback whales crash orca hunts as an instinct to rescue other animals. They don't.
Oh my God!
They don't eat the animals. They don't do it. When they come in, they say, "What did the Lone Ranger say? My work here is done," and then they leave.
Do you think it's true?
I think so. It's scientists saying so. Of course, it's who knows. A study of 115 documented cases. Of course, I'm reading this from social media. Says that in nearly 90% of cases, the humpbacks disrupted the attack. So the question here is whether animals have altruistic actions.
Whether these animals have it.
Yes, these animals. Dogs,
you don't think this is AI generated of the humpback?
I don't know.
Ferrying the seal to safety.
Yeah, the more I look at it, actually, the more I think it's.
Doesn't really look like it really happened.
That is, yeah.
If it did, that photographer really was in the right place at the right time.
I think the scaling is all wrong. That humpback is too small.
All right, so I'm gonna. Sorry about that.
This is your bunnies.
Yeah, it's the bunnies. It could be bunnies.
It could be.
Bunnies
Well, the
all
story
the way down.
may well be true. I don't know. This is the problem. You saw that there are now paper mills creating fake scientific studies. We're living in a world where I don't know if you could trust anything you read anymore.
Just like the first days of print.
And see, this is the problem with having all of our AIs sound like humans and making videos and stuff like that. Like, this is the word we're making.
Oh, I don't know. I'm just glad I have a good mattress because I'm going to go lie down. Thank you, Jeff Jarvis, Professor Emeritus of Journalistic Innovation at the Craig Newmark Graduate School of Journalism at the City University of New York, author of the Gutenberg Parenthesis, now in paperback, The Web We Weave, and magazine, now in audiobook. Great to have you, as always, Jeff.
As always, boss.
Have a wonderful, give Craig Newmark our regards tomorrow. Have a wonderful hamburger at Hamburger America. Paris Martineau is an investigative reporter at Consumer Reports, where she reports on investigative reporting for Consumer Reports. So it's nice to know that you're a reporter.
Are you a consumer? I want to report you.
I'm a consumer. I'd like to report. She's at paris.nyc. She is awesome. You're both awesome. Indeed. I love doing this show. I hate ending this show, which is why it goes on and on and on sometimes. We do the show as I mentioned, every Wednesday. I hope you will watch live. I hope you will download it. I hope you will tell your friends, and I hope you will join Club Twit. But I have many hopes, and they are often dashed. So it's okay. It's okay. I'll be fine. Thank you for being here. We'll see you next time on Intelligent Machines. Bye-bye.